be a part of the literacy challenge. Be on the lookout for that big announcement on Monday, August 4, and then know whether you are part, your student is part, your child is part, your ward is part, and then we prepare for the second round, which is the written aptitude test, happening on Saturday, 9th August 2025 at the British Council here in Accra at 12 noon. The Literacy Challenge is brought to you by 97.3 City FM with support from Channel 1 Television, and it's proudly sponsored by Bawku and GB Assessment. All right, so that's about it for the Literacy Challenge. Level 2 begins. We'll make the announcement on Monday, and then we'll sit for the aptitude test on Saturday, 9th August. All right, now something big, something wonderful, something amazing, something marvelous is coming, and it's called This is a Ghana Exhibition. We're showcasing Ghana's export potential. And so if you are an indigenous Ghanaian business, an indigenous Ghanaian manufacturer, an indigenous Ghanaian producer, this is your ultimate stop to be part of a groundbreaking event that provides a platform for Ghanaian businesses, SMEs, startups, micro, just name it. So far as you're an indigenous Ghanaian business, you get to be a part of the This is Ghana exhibition, and you get to showcase and exhibit your products or your service to the rest of the world. So please take advantage of the This is Ghana exhibition, which is happening from the 6th to the 7th of September 2025. 2 days, all right? And we're starting from 10 a.m. on each day. This year, the exhibition is happening at the Ifua Sutherland Children's Park, and it's an exhibition for local SMEs, startups, homegrown businesses, innovations, and indigenous corporate bodies. To be part of the This is Ghana exhibition, kindly call 0205 973 973 for registration. 0205 973 973 and register for the This is Ghana exhibition, which is happening at the Ifua Sutherland Children's Park from the 6th of September to the 7th of September 2025. All right, so it's coming. Last year it was big. We had a lot of patronage and, of course, a lot of insight and eye-opening technology as well as innovation when it comes to Ghanaian products, services, and, of course, innovations. It was amazing exhibition last year. This year promises to be better, and that's why we are entreating you to be part of it. If you're going to call, please call early. And when you do call, please follow up with payment, okay? Because it's your payment that secures you a slot at the This is Ghana exhibition. It's happening at the Ifua Sutherland Children's Park. Ifua Sutherland Children's Park here in Accra from the 6th to the 7th of September 2025. So please call the number 0205 973 973, 0205 973 973, and be part of the This is Ghana exhibition. Now go to the Google Play Store and download the Channel 1 News app, and then you can have access to all the information when it comes to news, current affairs, politics, sports, business, showbiz, entertainment, lifestyle. You can catch it all on the app. That's the Channel 1 News app on the Google Play Store, and literally move about with the news in your pocket. All righty. That's the Channel 1 News app on the Google Play Store. Go there and download the news app. Quite a user-friendly interface, easy to navigate, and of course, easy to use. Let's get into the newspapers this morning. The Daily Graphic says, study leave abusers face sack. Study leave abusers face sack. Accountant General bears teeth. Study leave abusers face sack. Accountant General bears teeth. TBSC reaches the business end. ADB records 230 million cedis profit in 6 months. Data in mid-year budget review misleading. That's according to the minority. And there's some good news for all my brothers with Sakura. The story here says hair forestation. UGMC to roll out hair transplant this year. So all my Sakura brothers, let's start saving. Hair forestation, UGMC to roll out hair transplant this year. So we don't need to travel to Turkey anymore. We'll do it locally. You understand that? All right. I take it to the back page of the Daily Graphic now. Engage communities to address simmering tension. IGP directs regional commands. Engage communities to address simmering tensions. IGP directs regional commands. And Father Campbell calls for public education to end leprosy stigma. Father Campbell, that's Reverend Father Andrew Campbell, calls for public education to end leprosy stigma. So that's the Daily Graphic newspaper this morning. The Ghanaian Times says, we must protect civil liberties. President Mahama urges African leaders. We must protect civil liberties. President Mahama urges African leaders. And of course, the story I alluded to earlier, 16 members of Saviour Church perish in road crash. And again, I ask, until when? How many more need to die before we prioritize this issue and deal with it? It's quite sad, quite unfortunate. And the problem is there's not everyone that will even have the resources to afford a flight. And so definitely you're going to have numbers who are going to be traveling by road. And we cannot continue to lose such lives. A life lost can never be replaced. And so we're begging you, let's all put our shoulders to the wheel and ensure that the right thing is done to protect lives on that stretch especially. And of course, across the country where road accidents or road crashes are being recorded. All right. Now, the minority is here, and they say that the mid-year budget is deceptive and full of failed promises. Mid-year budget deceptive, full of failed promises. That's according to the minority. Yesterday, they held a presser, more of a reaction to the mid-year budget review as delivered by the Finance Minister, Dr. Kessiel Atoforsen. And the minority had their own, delivered by the former Finance Minister and MP for Karaga, Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam, who was flanked by Kojo Opon Nkrumah, MP for Fuasia Yerebi, and Dr. Gideon Bawku, MP for Tano North. And this is what they are saying, that the mid-year budget review is full of failed promises. All right, other stories say government rehabilitates a Shaiman irrigation project for food security. Government rehabilitates a Shaiman irrigation project for food security. When you go to the back page, it says Next Care opens $1 million health center in Kumasi. Next Care opens $1 million health center in Kumasi. And CSIR targets a food sufficiency with science-driven farming deal. That's the Ghanaian Times newspaper. The Chronicle is next. MPP has opened nominations for its presidential primaries, and already some campaigns have been launched. So we'll look at them. This one says, I am the most viable candidate to lead NPP. KAA declares at official announcement. KAA is Engineer Kwabna Ajay Japon, and he says he's the most viable candidate to lead the NPP. Brian files emergency motion in Parliament to confront national security crisis in Bawku. Brian files emergency motion in Parliament to confront national security crisis in Bawku. All right, we'll take some text of scripture. Today is from the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8, the verse number 5, and it says, whoever obeys his command will come to no harm, and the wise heart will know the proper time and procedure. Whoever obeys his command will come to no harm, and the wise heart will know the proper time and procedure. Ecclesiastes 8:5. May the Lord add his blessing to the reading of his word. The back page has a number of sports stories, mostly on transfers. And of course, you have Burna Boy performing at victory parade for England's women's team after the Euros win, and a host of others. That's it for the Chronicle newspaper. Let's get into the daily guide. NPP flag bearer raise aspirants to pay 600,000 Ghana cedis. Yeah, money is talking. NPP flag bearer raise aspirants to pay 600,000 Ghana cedis. You have Stop Peddling Lies, Damage Strikes Ayene. Stop Peddling Lies, Damage Strikes Ayene. 16 perish in gory crash. Minority slams government over new taxes. And you have given Dubois info on stolen car, judge to police. That's it for the daily guide. I'll quickly jump to the Herald. Herald says, Jubilee House drawn into IGP's post-retirement contracts ban breach. Jubilee House drawn into IGP's post-retirement contracts ban breach. Ex-Bost officials use $5 million deal property scandal. Ex-Bost officials a $5 million deal property scandal under scrutiny. Ex-Bost officials $5 million deal property scandal under scrutiny. Ghana's $60 billion petroleum hub project draws global investors. Godfrey Dame discredits Dominic Ayene's claims in Unibank, Beige Bank criminal cases. Rising public wage bill threatens health, infrastructure and education. That's according to the Controller and Accountant General. And you have NPA targets training colleges, nursing students with LPG safety campaign. That's the Herald newspaper. News Center. The News Center says economic gains. Minority accuses Dr. Atuforsen of credit theft. Economic gains. Minority accuses Dr. Atuforsen of credit theft. NACOC hands over $1.7 million worth of seized gold to Gold Board. Court finds Vomawo 3,000 Ghana cedis in Kandapa suit. Over 2,000 rounds, 20 guns seized at Ghana's airport. The share goes 200 million cedi solar loan to power 4,000 Catholic schools, hospitals and churches. The back page has the Leshego story and it has Republic Bank Ghana opens new branch in Takwa. That's the News Center newspaper. The Ghanaian publisher is next. NPP 2028. Baumia others to pay 600,000 cedis. Adokufo chairs vetting. Interesting. NPP 2028. Baumia others to pay 600,000 Ghana cedis. Adokufo chairs vetting. Minority blast finance minister over budget claims. Minority blast finance minister over budget claims, and court finds Voma War 3,000 Ghana cedis in Kandapa case. So from one publisher, we move to the other. This one is the New Publisher. New Publisher says, mid-year budget deceitful. Minority exposes half-truths and lies. Mid-year budget deceitful. Minority exposes half-truths and lies. Akufo-Addo's men would be arrested in Akwatia, says Mustafa Gbande. He is a Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, also a presidential staffer. Damit dares Ayene over Beige Bank 10 million CD claim. Damit dares Ayene over Beige Bank 10 million CD claim. The Inquisitor says land transaction gone bad. Businessman pursues Dr. Zomelo. And then you have McDonald's property demolished. Placing of stones on LPG regulator dangerous. NPA warns. Over 97,000 students benefit from no-fee stress. That's attributed to the Government Communications Minister. And Bagman eulogizes KGL Group's CSR records. The Informer says a trial of Ramadan rice suspects begins in October. Politics fueling Bawku conflict, attributed to security don Dr. Vladimir Entry Danso. VIP urges Senate to demystify pensions. GTEC drags fake title holders to court. Custodian says zero releases for big push. Women's Bank coders program. Minority exposes government. Mid-year budget covers half-truths and untruths. That was also attributed to the minority. Court finds absentee backer Vomawo 3,000 Ghana cedis as Kandapa's case advances. And will fast-track rural telephony program. That's Adam Sukbaru, Deputy Communications Minister. And in politics, MPP 2028 raise aspirants to pay over 600,000 Ghana cedis. Let's quickly take you online and take you to channel1newsonline.com. Primaries. NPP needs a unifier. Kwame Japan fits the bill. That's the spokesperson for flag bearer hopeful Kwabena Eje Japan speaking there. He was on the Channel 1 newsroom last night. Let's bring you some other stories on Channel 1 News Online. Anti-Galamsey measures showing results. State of emergency unnecessary. That's the Member of Parliament for Second D speaking there. To some more stories and passport, NHIS, driver's license fees, others to jump by 40%. Minority alleges. Then you have Kenneth Japan declares intent to contest NPP 2028 presidential primaries. Kenneth Japan declares intent to contest NPP 2028 presidential primaries. Free Atuesien amid case withdrawals. Godfrey Dame to Ayene. Free Atuesien amid case withdrawals. Godfrey Dame to Ayene. Then you have Bawku. This is unacceptable. Mahama condemns renewed violence. This is unacceptable. Mahama condemns renewed violence. Go to channel1news.newsonline.com and you get all these stories and several others. But let me now take you to citynewsroom.com. Ghana's public debt drops by 139 billion cedis in first half of 2025, as according to the finance minister. Ghana's public debt drops by 139 billion cedis in first half of 2025. FX violations. BOG orders weekly remittance disclosures from financial institutions. FX violations. BOG orders weekly remittance disclosures from financial institutions. In politics, NPP flag bearer race will be tough, but I have support. Kwabena Japan speaking there. British National Archives presents authentic copy of Bond of 1844 to Parliament. Wow. It's a must-see. British National Archives presents authentic copy of Bond of 1844 to Parliament. Okay, moving on. Banks anticipate 2% policy rate cut as BOG concludes MPC meeting. Banks anticipate 2% policy rate cut as BOG concludes MPC meeting. So, like I said, go to the Google Play Store and download the Channel 1 News app, and you can get the details of all these stories right there on the app. Easy to navigate and, of course, easy to use. This is Breakfast Daily here on Channel 1 TV. I am Nanatufo Boateng. Stay with us. We'll be right back with the news review segment.
The entries have been received and the marking has begun. Who makes it to the next round of the Literacy Challenge 2025? Randomly selected entries will be read on 97.3 City FM on Brunch in the City and the Traffic Avenue, and on Breakfast Daily on Channel 1 TV. Stay tuned to 97.3 City FM and Channel 1 TV to find out who makes it to level 2 of the Literacy Challenge on Monday, 4th August 2025. Level 2 Aptitude Test. The top 50 contestants from across Ghana to make it to the next round shall take part in a written aptitude test on Saturday, 9th August 2025 at 12 noon at the British Council, Accra. Grand Finale. The top 10 contestants chosen from Level 2 shall compete for the grand prize of 10,000 Ghana cedis in a classic quiz competition on Friday, 15th August 2025. The Literacy Challenge 2025 is powered by City FM, supported by Channel 1 TV, and sponsored by Belmu and GB Assessment. From trash to treasure, meet the man who, in his quest to save his own life, decided to make the environment more bearable.
What problem did you want to solve?
So the pollution problem,
right?
The smoke from the burning of the plant is very poisonous. Personally, I was suffering. I could have asthmatic attacks and end up in the hospital. And I was like, if I don't find a solution to the problem, I can die.
Has it been all rosy for him? Well, he shared one of his experiences with us.
That shelter at Jolu Junction.
Yeah.
I mean, it was beautiful to see. I used that stretch, but after a while, it vanished.
I couldn't sleep after building that bus. I'll tell you when I started sleeping.
Accompanying him is the Vibe 3. They'd be serenading us to some great tunes.
Girl, you fire, me can't deny that. Many girls from me yacht by you butter. Tell me who on you, mommy water. Say I could be your Santa.
So this Sunday, join Frima Edunyame and Nana Tufo Boateng on the Upside Down Show at 7 p.m. for an uplifting and mind-changing moment.
Well, I go there with you. I go there with you.
Welcome. It's Play to Aid.
Get ready for the game show where every play has a purpose. Welcome to Play to Aid, the only game show where your knowledge and skill don't just win you prizes, they help change lives.
What sport is considered the most popular in the world?
Every point you earn goes toward real-world support, from school supplies to health kits, clean water to emergency relief. Play smart, play big, play to aid. Catch all the action, the drama, and the heat.
Most commonly spoken language in Brazil.
Portuguese.
Play to Aid every Sunday at 3:30 p.m. only on Channel 1 TV.
Edna, let's begin.
The Play to Aid game show is proudly sponsored by Tang Palace, Giraffe Island, and VVIP.
Hello there. Thank you for joining us. This is Breakfast Daily here on Channel 1 Television. I am Nana Tufo Boateng. It's time now for the news review segment, and we're getting straight into it. Today we have a number of topics to look at, and hopefully we'll make judicious use of our time. Wanda Madilo is here. He's a member of the NDC's communications team, as well as Dennis Miracles Abuaje, aide to Dr. Mahamudu Baumia, also here. Good morning, gentlemen. Good to have you. Good to have you. Good to have you. Well, let's get into our very first story for today. We're going to Bawku. Yeah, where the military is shifting attention from peacekeeping to peace enforcement. Is that the answer or the solution to the Bawku crisis? Wanda, I'll start with you.
Is that the answer? Yes, but it's a work in progress. Work in progress because the Bawku crisis is a multifaceted one. All the way back to 1957. And then in recent times, I mean, let's forget about the history and go to recent times. 2023 in particular, you had one group that supposedly had installed a chief and going back, the chief going back to the town, and that escalated, and today we have what we have. Even though we have the Otumfo mediation team and all that. The difficulty we have had over the years is that government has been trying to, what would you call it, maintain peace. And so they were trying to allow the parties to judge, or, there have been a lot of negotiations, there have been a lot of meetings at high levels, and young people have been conscientized. Government has spent so much, from 2021 to today in that regard. You have to keep a permanent military, base over there, and I think it has also become a strain on government's budgets, finance-wise. And so what we are seeing now is to scale up the security situation. Then the issue of these two young guys who died,
The students,
also has exacerbated the
tensions in
I mean, it's become too volatile now, and you now also know that they have to write WASI, and BEC also came around the same time and all that. So there's a difficulty, and government has no other choice now than to be high-handed, excuse me. I mean, there's legitimate force, there's lawful, force to be used and all that. Because it does appear as though sometimes we pretend we don't know the problem. But we all know that the problems have been three-headed. One, we say that there are political undertones that we cannot deny.
Yeah.
Anytime there's a government in power, one faction thinks that they have a right to the throne, they have a right to misbehavior, they have a right to do violence and all that. And then we also know that there are chieftaincy, issues, and it's more about installing who is the Bawku Naba or something of the sort. And that's a bit difficult and a bit hydra-headed. It is when it becomes chieftaincy issues. It is difficult even for the law to intervene. It will have to go through the National House of Chiefs. In fact, from the local level, the traditional council, then to the regional, then
the
to
Supreme
national.
Court ruling on this Bawku matter.
Yeah, before we get to the Supreme Court and all that. So, again, Supreme Court ruling or court rulings do not solve chieftaincy problem. In very rare cases, you find that because they will keep challenging and keep, even if they go as far as the Supreme Court and the decision doesn't go in favor of one party, you see that they may even agree, but inwardly or undercurrent do not give credence to the peace that you seek to procure. So this project, this agenda of government to enforce peace is more of being stronger on the ground, one, preemptive when it comes to security, and then ensuring the populace that they are safe. Because the safety of the people, that is the issue. Another challenge we've had is that, if you look at the area very well, from Bolga all the way to Bawku, it's just one road, one major road that goes through all the way. And so when you are waylaid, or what you call, you are ambushed, it's very difficult. And for me, I think that it will be good for the military to do this. It will also be good for the eminent chiefs that are mediating to continue their mediation. And I'm not too sure whether we're going to do mediation or arbitration. The two are two different issues and all that. I have always maintained that all this while I thought that governments, and not only the NDC government, from the MPP to NDC, I thought that one of the things we would have done was to do a proper evacuation or, create a buffer area where it's a no-go area. This tribe, this is where you are. This one, that's where you are.
Maybe we should split them.
I think that we have gotten to a point where we need to take some decisions and demarcate who crosses what. But the difficulty with that also is that they have intermarried.
Exactly.
There are people who are Kusarasis and married to Pamampusis and all that. And so it's a difficult situation, Many years before now, that would have been possible. But now, it doesn't look as though that is a feasible alternative to explore. So government is taking the bold step to go a step further in terms of enforcing the peace. The police, the military owe it a duty to this country to enforce law and order and to ensure the safety of Ghanaians' property and all that. So I think it's all right.
It says a move from peacekeeping to peace enforcement, but it doesn't give us details. So what does this entail?
Oh no, security
Are they
operations.
going to place a soldier or a military man in front of every household?
That's not all there is. It's not as though they are going to place. You see, when we say enforcement, it is the law requires that Ghanaians live in peace. It's a constitutional provision that the police and the military maintain law and order, property and life. And lives to be safeguarded. In the event that people deliberately, not out of negligence, not out of some, consequential issues, deliberately flout that, one of the things the law allows the law enforcement agencies to do is to enforce the peace, to ensure that, for instance, if you instill curfew, that's enforcement. That's not maintaining peace. No, that's an enforcement. So whatever the military will do or the security will do to ensure that no factions go up in arms again or exchange whatever, bullets or whatever, is what they are going to do. So it's more preemptive, it's more proactive, and it's also showing a lot of presence on the ground. So you're in the market, there are military men around who are ensuring that there are no dissidents. You are going to a public place, people will be searched, before you can enter the place. And then also arms retrieval. Reports indicate that reports indicate that there are a lot of arms in the place. So that's one of the things we do, arms retrieval, ensuring that public gatherings are safe, ensuring that the highways are safe, and then also ensuring that people who try to influence some of these other guys to misbehave are also picked up. So it's a gamut of issues. It will be difficult for them to tell you the details of what they are going to do. But maintaining law and order is a difficult thing for anybody.
Very well. Thank you, Wanda. Let's say good morning to Elvis Darko. He is the editor of the News Center newspaper and newscenter.com. Elvis, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Nana.
Good to see you. Dennis, this Bawku issue, I think it's high time we separate crime from the conflict, because it appears people are taking advantage of the situation there to perpetuate their own heinous crimes and all. Look at this issue of the student that was dragged from school and murdered in the way he was murdered. How do we deal with these issues going forward?
Thank you, Nana. And a very warm good morning to my seniors around the table. I mean, before I come to the Bawku issue, and I think that there are a few issues that we need to draw government's attention to. I think all is not well. All is not well. We acknowledge the fact that the government is putting in efforts to try and meet the expectations of the people. But it's been 7 months, we're going into the 8th month, and we cannot continue to pretend, and we cannot continue to live in that imaginary world that the government is creating for us. And it's time government sets up. As we speak, you are entering your 8th month. You are running out of time. The expectations are high. You made some big promises. Let's see them in action. So far, it's not looking promising. I mean, the government has created more jobless young people than he has created jobs, because he terminated 35,000 employments in this country. That's a worry. You have a government that in the past 7 months has increased electricity tariffs by 16%. That's a big worry. Because, once you increase electricity, it's going to dovetail into industry. It's going to affect them, and it's going to lead into so many things. We currently have a situation where doomsday is almost becoming normal now. Since the government has been in office, it's as if now people are getting used to it, that okay, NDC is in power, so when the light goes off, it's okay. It's not okay. It's affecting productivity. Cold stores are struggling, businesses are struggling, and government needs to do something about it. This government has introduced close to about 80 new taxes since they came to office.
We'll deal with the budget.
No, but just hold on. But it's like they are pretending and making it look like we don't have to say anything about it. To the extent that they've introduced a doomsday levy that is costing us 4 cedi 50 pesos on every gallon of fuel that we pay. We are feeling it. They can't pretend as if they don't know that we are feeling it. The Guta is complaining, GPRT is complaining, Abusio kind traders are complaining. And if you like, you can send your reporters to the market. The women are complaining, and I think government needs to do something about it. In all of this, you've increased public sector salaries by a paltry 10%. It doesn't meet up with the challenges. It's as if the government is running some other economy on social media, and the real economy is also facing. So the last I remember, I said that there's a contradiction in the kind of economy that this government is running. That you claim, it's not a claim. As a matter of fact, with the BOG paper document, dollar is at 10.3, but no Ghanaian is getting dollar for 10.3. Like no Ghanaian is getting dollar. The cheapest you are getting dollar in the country is 12 cedis. So the challenge is that when you use the 10.3 or 10.4 to do your calculation on paper, this water will cost 2 cedis. But in actual sense, the water is costing 3 cedis because the producer is actually getting the dollar at 12, 13 cedis. I think this government needs to do something about it. They promised us cheaper data. And then later they said that, okay, you still need 390 cedis to get a basic 1 month data if you are lucky to.
But they've added on.
So hold on. But don't worry, we are saying that we are going to increase the volume of the value of the data. Only for us to now even see the data finishing faster than the previous one. It's a big worry. And then when we raised it, the minister says that we should check the settings of our phones. I think it's a worry now. Galamsey is an upsurge rise. The TUC looked in the face of the president and told him that since this government has been in power, Galamsey has, for the first time, and the pictures are there, I'll show them to you. For the first time, we are seeing the black voter turning into brown. For the first time. You have NDC boys dressed in national security apparels, shutting down Forestry Commission offices. And the national security coordinator is crying and saying, I beg you, I've called them, they are party boys, I'm begging them to leave. What's happening? You understand? This government promised us a lean government and told us that, in fact, they were shading Akufo-Addo, that Akufo-Addo was running a bloated government and that they would give us a lean government. True. They came, reduced the number or the size of the government, but they are spending more. They are running a kwashiorkor economy, a situation where you have a very lean body, like a small in size, but a very bulky stomach. Small in size, but big in taste. They are spending 2.7 billion cedis on government machinery. That's the lean government. The bloated Akufo-Addo government spent 327 million Ghana cedis on it. And that cement, which was 85 cedis to 90 cedis, is today 130 Ghana cedis. That's how much we are buying it. We cannot pretend. Go and check 42.5 R cement. It used to be 80 to 90 cedis, and today is 130 cedis. We cannot pretend oil is well. And I am appealing to the government that whatever it is, we run an electoral democracy. There is nothing anybody can do about the current situation other than to appeal to them to get to work and reduce the rhetorics, reduce the talk, and deal with the real issues. I heard the president this morning, I think on your radio on City 97.3, saying that, have you people heard about complaining school feeding? Have you people heard about complaining free SHS? I have a niece at a Brighouse. I am telling you, tomorrow you can go and check. Go and talk to the students. There are days that they have just one meal. Just one meal. That is the reality on the ground. And it is painful when the people are experiencing the reality, but you gaslight them by coming to tell them, you're okay, you're fine, there's nothing wrong with it. I am appealing, I am begging. Whether we like it or not, this government has over 1,200 days to go. The days are moving really, really slow. Over 1,200 days to go. They should use it and do something.
Very well.
And make sure that the lives of the people and the Ghanaian people are better off than they made it.
Bro, let's deal with it.
Now,
again.
On the,
How many minutes?
I'll give you time to respond to him. I know you want to respond to
but
him.
you did 7 minutes. I use a stopwatch. I have done 3. I use a stopwatch this year.
I'm saying, but you didn't
I am
use
saying that I use a stopwatch. You did 6 minutes 43. No, because I'm listening. You did 6 minutes 43.
But this one is taking the time. So allow
That's what he's trying to use his time for.
The man set his own questions. He's
choosing to use his time for that. So,
I mean, on the issue of Bawku, Nana, listen. We belated the conversation. We always discussing it. It's like a never-ending issue. I have been to Bawku. You know, I was a local government. There's nowhere in this country that I have never been to. There was a particular day that I had a privilege to follow Honorable Dambochi to Upper East. We went to Bolga for a program. We decided to go to Bawku. And this was even as far back as 2023. It was like a war zone. You know, like midnight, you hear like pa pa pa, po po po, you know, like, you know, and you wake up in the morning, they say, oh, some market women were traveling to go to the market and the whole trotro has been fired, 8 people dead, pregnant women and all of that. And at that time, because I had seen it with my eyes, I was alarmed and worried. You see, there was a time that some of them complained that even WhatsApp was causing problems for them in the area, because now they were using WhatsApp audio to share information and tell people. At some point, there were even rumors that they had sent assassins from Bawku to Accra to come and identify Mampusis and Kusasis and go after them. And they have very sophisticated weapons. You remember the news where they said they opened up like what we call machine gun on some policemen and some military vehicles, and some died. Within that period, I was shocked. When within that period, we were seeing the situation, and the government then, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo's government was trying to deal with the situation. Like Wanda said, there's an age-long colonial matter. And then I was shocked with the utterances and the posture of the government today. And I was afraid. I was scared. I was worried. And I remember I used to say it on TV constantly that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, what you are doing is dangerous. What you are doing is risky. It's putting the entire country at risk. You do not politicize violence and conflict and wars. But you see, because of political expediency, because of selfishness, they weaponized the violence. They politicized it to their advantage. And at some point, they were glorifying themselves for the MPP getting 0 in certain polling stations. And they were happy, and they said that Bawku deserves. One of the presidential staffers at the Office of Government Communications, Bridget Otu, actually tweeted that Bawku deserves MVP award in these elections because they gave MPP 0-0. Listen, even during the registration, the registration preceding the elections, there were places that Electoral Commission couldn't even put up their registration boxes. There are certain areas in Bawku that have been no-go areas. Some of the people, the places that you claim the MPP had 0, the people who would have voted for MPP, they were afraid for their lives. They couldn't show up. There are some areas that if you're a Mampusi, you can't go. So if you're a voter in that area and it's a Kusasi zone, you cannot step out to go and vote. So if you hear that MPP got 0 in certain areas in Bawku, that is the reason the people were afraid to move out. There are Mampusi's areas that John Mahama got 0. It is because the Kusasis also were afraid to go to those Mampusi areas to also go and vote. So you are running a country where certain places cannot be crossed by certain people. The MP then stood on a campaign trail with a microphone and said, all of you are aware, this fight that we are having in Bawku, it is the MPP that brought it in his local dialect. The president now, John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, stood on a campaign platform and said that, anytime NDC is in power, there is peace in Bawku. Anytime MPP is in power, there is violence in Bawku. I was afraid then, and I'm still afraid. And I'm only telling the president that he is simply reaping the resource of the recklessness of himself and his government functionaries on the issue of Bawku. What he needs to do is to do a quick self-introspection, find ways and means to go to Bawku and go and have conversations. Listen, the Bawku issue has moved from chieftaincy. It is very political, extremely political. But what I think is driving the Bawku conflict now is more of vengeance than anything. Because you see, what is happening is that most of these young people who are even killing themselves in Bawku, when you ask them why they are fighting, most of them cannot connect it to the chieftaincy matter, which is actually the baseline of the conflict. They can't. But what is happening is the young boy that was dragged from the dormitory and was shot, his family members have by now also taken up arms. And if the young boy is a Mampusi, it means that his family members are looking for a Mampusi life to take to replace. If the boy is a Kusasi, it means that so
there's reprisals.
So you see, so today my cousin is killed. My entire family also left arms. We are simply looking for 1 or 2 people to also kill in replacement of that. So it is not enough to even go there and say we have declared curfew, and then here's a wrap up, and then have military men moving up and down in the community, because this is a conflict that is coming from the colonial days to now. How long are you going to have the military men in the community? How long are you going to have the curfew? So I think that what is really needed is not just, we are paying too much attention on the chieftaincy conflict and resolving it. But I dare say that resolving the Bawku chieftaincy issue is not entirely the solution. People are hurt. People are maimed. I think people are bruised in the community. We need to have a certain social engagement as well to go into the community and begin to talk to people. We need to hire professionals that will look at the entire Bawku situation and advise as to how we can go about it. How do we get this young man that was dragged from the dormitory and killed? How do we get his family members to understand that it is time to, it's a loss, it's a big loss, but let's go. So that they also don't take arm to go and avenge. Because immediately they also avenge. Then you can be rest assured that the other side will also come and avenge. So it's not just a chieftaincy matter. People who are not connected to the chieftaincy situation have lost loved ones, and they are seeking revenge. We need to do some social reorientation as well, and find another way, and not just military intervention. You can't enforce people who are ready to kill. What are you going to do to them? So you are keeping them in their rooms, but for how long? And then when you get tired and you need to move out, what will happen? And you know what happens in curfew communities? In the first 2-3 weeks, you see the people, the military very active, and the people even responding. But the first month, the security people are even tired themselves. That's when they wake up in the morning and you realize that they are no longer wearing their uniforms. They are wearing regular civilian, because you get to a point where people see military begin to comply. But when you lose guard, they will come back. The social reorientation, I think, is urgently needed in Bawku. The reconciliation, how do you even call it?
The
therapy. Yes, we need to take some people there through some therapy for them to let go, forgive each other, you know, and forget some of the things that have happened. Otherwise, we are in trouble.
Thank you. This Bawku issue, we've dealt with it on so many occasions. I don't even know how we can tackle it anymore. But do you think that the mediation process, one, can be fast-tracked and some of the interventions can be fast-tracked so that we have some peace in Bawku?
See, Bawku should be one of the places where the economy should be really booming. Because Bawku and the Upper West, if you look at it, they have some beautiful tourist attractions that people all over the world will want to visit. So without war, Bawku people would have been having a lot of things. Let me give you about some of the attractions in Bawku and the area. You have the Paga Nania Slave Camp. You have the Navrogos Cathedral. You have Tongo Hills. You have Bolgatanga Crafts Market. You have Pusiga War Memorial. You have Sirigu Arts and Crafts Center. You have Paga Kokoda Pond. You have Kasanaba Waterfalls. Bawku Cultural Center. Bawku Central Mosque. Look at this. There's a waterfall. There's a war memorial. There's a war memorial. The Tongo Hills. There are wonderful things in that region that if war is not happening, and they are rather focused on looking at how they can all come up with innovations, skills, trade, and other things that will revolve around some of these attractions, the economy of Bawku should be doing well. If they are a peaceful place and people will feel comfortable visiting, the economy of Bawku should be doing well. But because they have resorted to war with all these things that could actually help them make living economically, who will want to go to a war area? Who want to go to a place where people are being killed every day? Nobody wants to go. So the attractions are sitting there and they are living in abject poverty. There are many regions who don't have this kind of attractions. And they wish they had it so that people can visit them. Because when visitors come in, if you are selling Tuzafi, the patronage will be bigger. Because when foreigners come and they want to eat the local food, they are going to enjoy what the woman who is selling their community is doing. But now that you are fighting, who is coming to buy what you are selling? See, that's why it's important. And as Miracle has said, if the people allow politicians, because he said that the war is naturally about vengeance and other things, if you allow politicians to divide you, and then the politicians are sitting in Accra, they are living in very nice buildings in Accra. They are living in Accra where there's water, where everything they need are social amenities. They are living in some of the prime areas in Accra and are having fun. And you are sitting in that place, and the best you can think about is to kill each other. You have to think twice. Because the people who are putting your heads together that kill yourselves, they are not dying. No. Their children are not living with you. They are not there to die with you people. Their children are living in Accra or abroad. Their children are attending some of the best international schools in town. They are having comfortable living based on your vote. And then you think that after voting for that politician, the best you can do is to use that divisive statements they made during campaign to be killing yourselves while they and their families are enjoying. The MP of Bawku may not go there for 4 years and use the fight as an excuse. But he is having a comfortable life in Accra. His daily bread is guaranteed. His peaceful sleep is guaranteed. His movement around transportation is guaranteed. That of his wife and children is guaranteed. But you are sitting there and say because the person said this on campaign, this person said that on campaign, you take up guns and knives and killing yourself. Unfortunately, if you are doing that, I will say that you have to think twice, because it's like you are not even thinking about your own welfare. You are thinking about somebody else's welfare, and the person is living good where he or she is. Yet you are living in that abject poverty in that area, and the best you can do is to find ways to kill each other. I believe that the people of Bawku should begin to think and ask themselves, with all the political rhetoric that people have used just to make sure that the conflict is sustained for political benefit, which of the politicians' children have been killed. There are over 300 people that have been killed from November 2021 to April this year. How many top politicians with the rhetoric that makes them fight have died? So I think that if they are fighting because the ethnic issues have now metamorphosed into political issues, they have to think twice. Because all those that are funneling these things behind, including those who are supplying them with the arms and the rest, they and their families are living not in the community, they are living elsewhere. And they are fine. They are not living in a war area. So their life is okay. Their children will grow up and become MP once you remain there. Because you are in the community fighting each other. Yeah. You don't have money. Poverty is killing you. So you will be there when the politician's son or family member will come and say, vote for me to be MP, and you will vote for them to be MP once you stay there. So they should think about their own well-being and ask themselves what we are doing, what is the sense in it? If we allow politicians to divide us and we are killing each other, yet these politicians are not those dying. Because they should ask themselves, with the 300 people that have died from November 2021 to April this year, how many of those people who have died are top politicians? But you are listening to these people to tell you that it's good for you to fight and kill each other for whatever reason you think you have. You go and kill each other. But none of them are dying. Their immediate family, wife and children, are all sick. None of them have died. And yet you still find it necessary to be fighting each other. I think if they sit back and think this way, they'll realize that if indeed political rhetorics are part of the reasons why the conflict is escalating, it's better that they think twice. Because then they are doing themselves a very, very big disservice. Yeah. Your school have been closed down. If you live in that area and your children in those areas, if you are not careful, your child may have to lose 1 year of education because
the
of fight.
nurses are even asking to be evacuated.
Exactly. All public sector workers don't want to go to that area anymore. So at the end of the day, this public services delivery is suffering because all the people who are supposed to be there to serve you with the taxpayers' money to serve you are all saying that because the place is not safe, we don't think we can be there to serve you. And I think that the leaders and those who are actually fighting, who are being emotional, should just take this lesson from me that if no top politician has been killed, if their children or wives have not died, their immediate families are all living well in other communities rather than Bawku, and you are there and your main focus is to kill each other, excuse me to say, you are actually thinking the opposite for your own life, because your life is actually retrogressing. Life of your children are retrogressing. You lack a lot of access to a lot of public services. Those who are engineering the fight are sitting in community where they have access to all this. Yet you think that the best thing for you to do is to sit in your community and rather be listening to those people who are pushing you to go and do it. Meanwhile, you have not sat down to ask yourself, this thing that we have been fighting all this while, the people who are actually engineering it, how many of them have died out of this battle? You go and pick an innocent child who is in school trying to see whether he can have a better prospect in life, so that if God should bless him and become a better person, he can come and do something in his community. You think that should be your target? Women and children, innocent children and women who are trying to find their daily bread, think they should be your target to kill because you want to make a statement. Excuse me, it is the lowest level of thinking for anybody to even consider. If they are smart, if they want their community to progress, if they want their own families, if they want to see their children become prosperous like their leaders who are telling them to fight, those who stand on the political platform and make all this, if they want their children and family people to get to that level, they should think twice and realize that this war will not give them the opportunity to get there. What will give them the opportunity to get there is to let peace prevail. And then all these tourism attractions that are in the region, how do we actually rally around and make money out of it to improve the economy of Bawku and the region? How do you make sure that you have some of the best schools in your area so that your children also have access to very good schools, good roads, water in there? Those are the things that they should rather focus on. But if they continue to listen to these politicians and they continue to tell them, do it, and then they get the political victory, and then they are living in Accra, have access to everything that they need in life. You don't have access to all those things, but you think that because that person has made a statement on a political platform for his or her political gain, you are standing on that and you are killing each other. Unfortunately, you are not being smart. Right. And I must say that, see, we can talk about the war being this, that. The question is, what really is the benefit of war?
Exactly.
There's no benefit.
Yeah.
War only degrades you, dehumanizes you, destroy everything you have, and make sure that you lag behind in everything. And therefore, all the fights you are fighting over whether who should be overlord of the area. The question is, how is it improving the livelihoods of anybody in the community? How is it bringing social amenities to the community? How does it build the economy of the community? How does it help to deliver better service of health, education, and all the services you need? How is the war helping to deliver? The war is rather making sure that you don't have anything of that sort. Today, if there's ECG in the community, you have problem, you call them. They can decide not to come because they will tell that they are scared for their life, and you sleep in darkness. Is that what you want? If you have problem with water, you call the whatever street that of the water and the community. No, because there is gun violence. I can't come. How do you get the water? So I think that the people should rather sit back and say that, look, the politicians may have said A or B, which we have taken emotionally and passionately and are using it as reasons for this fight. But when we look back for the past 40 or 50 years, we look at our lives, of our families and the rest. Those who have been telling us these things for the past 40 or 50 years to fight, they are making progress.
And living better.
And those of us who actually carry out the actions, our lives have been retrogressing. In fact, even if they look at the life of their own chiefs, the two main chiefs for the area, they should ask themselves whether the lives of the chiefs have improved compared to them.
Very obvious. Thank you. The show is interactive. We'd like to hear from you. Send us your thoughts, your comments, and contributions. Let us know what you think. There's a message here that says, good morning, Mr. Tufo and your panelists. I think miracles should save everyone the hypocrisy because we have seen worse during the MPP's 8 years. And so he should just stop trying to spray MPP news because it will not work. I side with him, however, when he says that people are pained and the conflict is now more vengeance than a chieftaincy issue. It's unfortunate, but most of these guys seem like they are not thinking at all to let politicians or politics divide them. It's a shame. Wanda, let me come to you and give you 3 minutes to respond to.
No, there's nothing to respond, to be honest. There's nothing to respond. This narrative we have heard from almost every MPP, person is 7 months in government, and they are up in arms about some promises that the NDC has made while in opposition and then in government. And so we are not too excited to respond to them because they have had the reins of this country for 8 years. What did you do? Very simple. If you can answer those simple questions, and we have always maintained, even in opposition, that our records before they came to government was still better than what they did. Talk about inflation, talk about exchange rate, talk about all the indicators of the economy. They know for a fact. And we are back in government and again demonstrating to them how best to manage an economy. We are told that the NDC promised that we were going to reduce ministers. We did. They were doing 126. We are doing 60. That's less than half of the 126 that they had. If 126 can leave this kind of legacy, 126 can take us to the IMF crawling. 126 can make us so pained. 126 can make us pay exchange rate in excess of 17 Ghana cedis or 17 Ghana cedis to $1. And that is all we got. We're better off with our 60. Now, we also hear this narrative every now and then. And this has introduced taxes and all that. We always dare them bring up the taxes. And then they say D-levy. What's D-levy? D-levy. What's D-levy? They are the ones giving that name, even the D-levy. What we know is ESLA. That has been upped by 1 Ghana cedis, per liter. That we know for a fact. And that they sat in parliament and debated. So we don't see the basis for this. If I was buying fuel when they were in government at 15, 14, and today I'm buying it lesser than that after 7 months of the good job of John Mahama, why am I bothered? Why am I bothered about, President Akufo-Addo's records in government? We all know that we were in debt. It was for 749 billion in debt. Today is reduced to 613, albeit to payment of our overheads and then also the exchange rate differentials. We're good with that. He knows that they led this country to the doldrums to the extent that even people who made their own investments were giving haircuts in this country. Have we so forgotten? Have we so forgotten that this is a government that even introduced obnoxious taxes that have, gotten us crawling and over and over and over? So it's difficult to respond to them lately because they don't have what it takes to debate the NDC on all fronts. If 8 years, if your 8 years is what you want to compare to somebody's 7 months in office, and in that 7 months you are delivered so wonderfully, what's the exchange rate today? Now it's so interesting that the NPP all of a sudden has woken up to the fact that Bank of Ghana exchange rate is different from what happens in the black market. When they were in government, we said that to them, right? And what did they say? In fact, Miracles himself on some programs defended the position of the Bank of Ghana's rates. And today he's now finding it convenient to talk about what's happening in the black market. The black market has always existed, but it never defined our exchange, rate, difficulties or whatever of the sort. It has always been to the Bank of Ghana. If you want to, do some transfers today, you may be using the bank rate. So what's the business? It is only those who want to trade in dollar within the local environment are struggling and talking about this exchange rate. I have signed some projects. We have signed off some projects in dollars. The exchange rate is bad today. They won't change it for me because it's bad.
Right.
If it was good, I wouldn't have complained.
Let's deal with the media review, the budget, and then of course
I'll give you a chance to let him talk about that. Let me finish
the change from dollar contracts to CD contracts, and then the minorities position. The minority says Ghanaians are worse off under your new tax burden.
I still keep telling you that it is not the standard. Is not the MPP. If it was the MPP, then I think that the NDC is in heaven. The standard is what we promised the people. The standard is the
Are you delivering on your promises?
Of course,
We've not heard any allocations for Big Push. The Women's Bank.
No, stop this. Don't do that. The Women Bank got 50 million in the budget. So you should check it out. The Big Push got some 2-point-something billion Ghana cedis for not only for roads, big infrastructure projects. You see, one of the things happening is that when they left government, a lot of debt has been left on our books.
Right.
For instance, if you go to road fund, what's the debt portfolio there? If you go to ECG, what's the debt portfolio? 69 billion and all that. So you are not just going to sit down and be paying debt.
Right.
That will crash the economy. That will bring inflationary pressures. So one of the things we do is to spread out the payment plan such that those payments, when they come in, do not shift your destroy your figures. Why? Any prudent economist will do this. Somebody will say, "Oh, they are not spending money." Should I give you the list of expenditures we have made over the period?
And yet, and
yet, I can list them for you if that will not.
And that's contrary to the perception that they are not spending.
Yeah. So we have paid $700 million for the Euro bond, and they know that for a fact. We have also paid 10 billion to the domestic bondholders. Bondholders, they give haircut to. How are you debating this issue? You give the haircut, you give the spread out, you give the payment plan, and we have done that very wonderfully. Even in fact, this is not the first payment. Soon as we took over from government, one of the first things to do was to take care of all the maturing debts and pay them off quickly. Then we have gone as much as 2.9 billion for the District Assembly Common Fund. This is the District Assembly Common Fund that this government capped. They capped District Assembly Common Fund. They capped Get Fund. They capped one more NHIS.
Yeah.
And we have taken off the cap and we are paying 2.9 billion paid. We have also paid 9.1 billion to the energy sector. They left the debt. We know that when we were leaving government, some debt was left, but by the time they had left government, it has ballooned. And that was crippling, energy production. Why? Because in normal business settings, if I owe you, if you are my supplier and I owe you, and you want to supply something, you are likely to be making sure that your figures are good because you know I won't pay in time.
Yeah.
But if I don't owe you, when I'm making negotiations with you or doing negotiations, I'm stronger. I'm on the stronger side.
Yeah.
And that was Ghana's problem, with the energy sector because we're owing so much. So nobody's willing to give you credit. Nobody is willing to do anything for you cheaper because you will pay after a long period, and their money or their debt would have depreciated in value. So we had that problem also. We also paid the 2.9 billion for Get Fund. Yes. So why is the MPP, struggling to understand some of these things? 1.1 billion was also paid for the free education program. Of course, it's a program we so much defended that when we come to government, we will progress with it. What did we do? We have added more schools, and some of those schools are actually private schools. Would they not clap for the NDC for
these are
some of
these payments you should make?
So if you say we are not spending, what is it? But government only spends statutory. Those are the primary expenditure of government. The statutory payment are the primary expenditure of government. The varying ones, which is the one you are doing projects, are different. That you can always, manage. Because I'm bringing the project. If the project costs me 2 billion, I can decide to phase it. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. So I don't spend all the 2 billion. You have control over that. But the statutory payments, you have no control. The law says pay it, and you have to pay it. And these are bilateral. Some of them are bilateral agreements that you have to honor. So it doesn't look as though the NDC is on the frolic of this.
Right. And so, I mean, we have also paid 2.7. It's nothing new, is it? Like the statutory payments, it's nothing new.
So what explain what are you talking about?
Your promises.
Which promises? You prefer that we go along our promises and crash the economy. That's what you want?
Okay, so that's what will happen if you should.
No. Is that what? No, I'm not saying
what
that's
will
what
happen if you fulfill your promises.
No, listen. What promises are you talking about? The promise of every government, first and foremost, is to honor obligations, and those obligations are statutory obligations. So, for instance, you are telling me that our promises. So, if NDC came to government and crashed free SHS, what would have happened? So, to sustain it is now a crime that the NDC paid what was due for NHIS, what was due for free SHS, what was due for get fund, what was due for school feeding. Is that a crime? And it's no expenditure, and for that matter, we should push it under the carpet. No, these are statutory payments. This is, in fact, the primus, the requirement of every government. Before your promises come to bear, if my promises will throw the country off gear, I won't do it. Right. It's not for political gain. Right. It's not for myself. It's not for just the image of the NDC. It's for the good of Ghanaians. Right. So the most important thing is to do your statutory payments. Are they coming? Yes. How about the government that under their tenure could not even make those statutory payments? You're talking about statutory payments. The haircut was one of those statutory payments that should have been paid. Right. Was it paid? Did he not crash the economy with it?
But
so you think, of course we have paid it, because we're in a better position. What was the debt to GDP when they were living? What is it today? What was the debt portfolio in quantum figures? 749 billion. We have reduced it to 613 billion, albeit to the prudent management of the economy. Right. We have also heard, some propaganda about the Bank of Ghana funding the gold bond and all that. Even when the Bank of Ghana has stated clearly that they did not fund the gold bond, the MPP is still on the frolic of their own, saying we have printed money and all that. All because they did that in the past. They printed over 40 billion when we had the crisis from the time of COVID until when we finally were getting off it. Till today. COVID levy is still on our books. We have promised to repeal COVID levy. But the structure of the COVID levy goes directly into get fund. That's why it's difficult. You need to go through a program to remove it. And that's why we have engaged the IMF to review our VAT plan and how to scrutinize. Because some of the taxes they introduced did not fall even in the area of levies or whether they are taxes or whether they are consumer. You can't even explain it. So please, the MPP won't deceive us after 7 months in government and doing this stellar performance, and then they come on TV or radio and say the kind of things, and do press conferences and all that. We even had a finance minister who told us in this country that under their tenure, betting tax was not introduced. And that they didn't collect it.
Was not implemented.
It was not implemented.
It was not collected.
The people who did the betting, did they not tell you that they paid 10%?
Very well. Dennis, let me hear from you on the mid-year budget review.
You see, all Wanda has done is what he and his president and his government have been doing to us. Gaslighting us. So he spent the last 10 minutes basically telling our brains.
He didn't do 10 minutes.
I beg you. But I have the stopwatch. Did you keep a stopwatch?
He didn't do 10 minutes. I don't keep a stopwatch, but I know when I throw it to him.
But you see, again, I have my facts and you are speculating.
I am not. I also have my time here.
Basically, what he's done is what they've been doing to us in the past 7 months. Gaslight us. So he spent the last 10 minutes telling our brain that we are delusional. That's what he's basically telling us. That, oh no, you people don't know, we are working. No, you don't understand that we are working.
I didn't know working.
We are working, relax. We are working because we are paying for school feeding that we are supposed to pay. We are working because we are paying for free SHS that we are supposed to pay. We are working because we are giving Get Fund and DACF their money that by law we are supposed to pay. We are working.
We are paying training allowances.
Yes, we are working. We are working. So basically that's what they keep telling us. And then he comes to tell us about 8 years of MPP. Who cares about 8 years of MPP? Nobody does. MPP is gone. We are not in power. As it stands now, we are not in power. We are nowhere near power. Is it not true that if you want to buy cement today and you want to buy 42.5 R, you buy it at 130 cedis? Is it not true that about 35,000 young Ghanaians' jobs have been terminated? Is it not true that as we speak, the nurses are almost back on their strike because their issues have not been resolved? Is it not true that this government in the past 6 months has increased electricity by 16%?
But the nurses have made some concessions.
By 16%. By 16%. Is it not true that they've increased electricity by 16%? Is it not true that Bank of Ghana dollar rate is 10 point something, but there is no Ghanaian in Ghana that gets dollar for 10 point something? The least you get is 12 cedis. Is it not true?
Is that not a reduction from 14?
You see, is it not, what I'm saying, is it not true?
It is true, but it's also not true that the dollar
but is it not,
the cedi has gained strength.
Doesn't it support my argument of they making us feel delusional when they tell us that it is not 12, it is 10? You see, stop making the governance of this country about MPP. It has nothing to do with us. You made specific promises. We are holding you to those promises. I have not even brought MPP as a measure. Who cares about MPP right now? MPP is gone. You are in power. You are performing abysmally. You are failing to fulfill simple things you promised. We ask you, and you say, how about the MPP? Who cares about the MPP?
But then you cannot take the MPP out of the
equation. We can't. Stop
because
it.
They took the economy.
You are insulting the Ghanaian people. Who cares about the MPP? Why did they take it from the MPP? It's not because you say I'm not well. Don't let me.
So it was somewhere, and they are
forget
working on
about
it.
MPP. Forget the fact that I'm even MPP. The woman on the market who your guys are putting and it is telling you that she's struggling. She shouldn't say it because she's MPP.
But can we tell her that this is what we got, and so we are working
what
on
does
it?
She care about MPP? What does she care about MPP? What does she care about MPP? You told the people you train 1 million coders, young people, you give them jobs. They were excited. They went to vote for you. You have come. You are doing just 500. You said, oh, MPP didn't do coding, so we shouldn't talk about it. What kind of logic is this? Is that what you are telling us? You told us that when you come, you fight Galamsey with AI. You say when you come, you make sure that you repel the ally. You say when you come, you do this, you do that, all in the fight against Galamsey. Okay? You are in government. Galamsey has escalated. As we speak, your chairman for Upper Dencha East is doing Galamsey. Your party people have invaded our forests and water reserves. The black voter that has never seen mining is turning brown. You say, oh, under MPP there was Galamsey, so we should keep quiet. What kind of thinking is this? Why did we vote for you? Why did we vote for you? Guta is complaining. They are telling you that they have requested for transfer of dollars to pay their suppliers. It's been 2 weeks. The banks are unable to do it because there's shortage of dollar. You are saying, oh, and the MPP was 14 cedis, so if there's shortage of dollar today, we shouldn't say it. Then kill all of us. Kill us. Kill us. Then we understand. What kind of thinking is this? We are struggling. It is real. That is our reality. Our reality is that we are struggling. Our business people cannot find dollar to do business. That is the reality. And I'm telling them about MPP. What do they care about? Didn't they vote against MPP? Didn't they vote against MPP? Stop this. This government is burdening Ghanaians. We can't even find electricity to run our businesses. We need to run businesses on gensets. Do you know how much it costs? And you think, oh, and the MPP, so what? Who cares about MPP? You think that the 36 million Ghanaians, they should keep quiet and suffer because you have moved the country from 3, where it was under MPP, to 4. So they should clap for you. If they wanted 4, you think they would have voted for you? You promised them 10. We are basically benchmarking the NDC against themselves. Sorry. It is the promise that you made to us that we are asking you to fulfill. Why are you bringing in the MPP? Arrogant braggarts. You talk plenty. You say big things. We vote for you. Now fulfill the simple things you said. You are saying that MPP. Who is bringing MPP into the matter? We are saying that you promised big push. Do it. You are saying MPP.
They have a 4-year
Did MPP promise a big push?
And
you promised Women Development Bank. Do it. You are saying MPP. Did MPP promise Women Development Bank?
They have 4 years. They want to put the economy in a place that can support these promises.
So you see, when you are responding to us, tell us something that gives us an indication that this is what we are doing. Don't worry. With Big Push, this is the program. This is how much we have earmarked for this particular year. This is what it can deliver. And then beyond that, we'll go. That is the kind of conversation you should give us. But don't disrespect us. These guys talk as if they are still in opposition. I am complaining as a Ghanaian. I'm suffering. Give me comfort. And you're telling me about MPP. I have a problem with that. You can't tell me to shut up. So you see, what you are saying is what they should do to us. Tell us how 55 million can set up a bank. When the Bank of Ghana has a requirement, capital requirement of 400 million. Tell us how in your first year's budget you have earmarked 55 million and how you are going to make sure that by the time you exit in 2028, you have 400 million to set up a bank. Give us that comfort. But don't tell us about, oh, MPP did they open a bank? Don't tell us about that. You understand? Right. These guys have lied in opposition, found their ways scammed into power, and they think that they can shut everybody up and do whatever they want. Listen, today, we are in this country today, and for the first time, the entire country is shocked. Hey, all of a sudden, so apparently it was true that some people committed crimes against Ghanaian people through the banks. But for the 8 years that these guys were in opposition, they created an impression as if there was nothing wrong with the banks. And the Kufado and his people have just collapsed banks. When they know that indeed no bank has been collapsed. But they use the word collapse. Tell me one bank in Ghana that was collapsed. 2 of the banks were moved to GCB. Is that not the case? Aren't all their customers with GCB? 6 or so of the rest of the bank, I think 8 of them were consolidated into CBG. Aren't all their customers there? But these guys run among this country, telling everybody at MPP, they've collapsed bank, the people have done nothing wrong. In fact, they promised the bank owners, their licenses. Today they are telling us that, oh, they admit that they owe us 5 billion, but they've paid 60%, and so we're forgiving them. And now you are in government. Right. We are suffering. We are struggling. You have just increased fees and charges. You know school fees, university fees are about to be increased by 40%. You have increased fees and charges by 40%. Even when inflation was 53%, we didn't even increase fees and charges. Inflation today, you claim, has come down to 13%. You are increasing fees and charges. That is the contradictory economy that I talk about. That when the inflation even went haywire and went all the way to 53%, the MPP government did not increase fees and charges to meet up with inflation. But when you have brought inflation down to 13 from 53, you are increasing fees and charges. When dollar was 14 cedis, prices of goods were lower. When dollar has come down to according to you 10 cedis, prices are higher. That is what we are talking about. Those are the realities we are discussing. If you want to address it, show us respect. Show us some respect. Tell us how you are going to address it. But don't tell us that MPP. Who cares about MPP right now? The Ghanaian people, who cares about MPP? The time for MPP and NDC will come. But at the moment, should we die until we get to the 4th year? Very well. Should all of us commit suicide until we get to the 4th year? Our reality is what we are telling you. Stop shutting us up and deal with it.
Very well, Dennis. Thank you. Obviously, I'll come to you, but I need to take a break at this point. Send us your thoughts, your comments, and your contributions via the WhatsApp number. Stay with us here. This is the News Review segment on Breakfast Daily. We'll be right back.
Life can get hectic, and sometimes we forget to prioritize our well-being. That's where Vernal Mineral Water steps in. A refreshing solution packed with essential minerals, Vernal Mineral Water keeps you hydrated and balanced. Whether you're at home or work, Vernal Mineral Water is there to keep you going. Don't let a busy schedule hinder your health. Make Vernal Mineral Water a part of your daily routine. Share the love with Vernal Mineral Water, the choice for a healthy, vibrant you.
This advert is FDA approved.
Hey, tech folks, Mona Lisa here. It's time to reconnect, relive, and rejoice.
Tech Alumni Homecoming 2025 is happening from August 1st to 3rd, and campus will be buzzing.
Friday, campus tour, mentorship sessions, and innovation-filled opening and oldies jam by night.
Saturday, we walk, plant, play, and glam up for dinner and awards.
And Sunday, Thanksgiving, brunch at a poolside farewell.
Mark your calendars. Tech Alumni Homecoming 2025. Reconnect, relive, rejoice.
What's better than your bestie? A bestie with blockbusters and bedtime cartoons. GoTV streams your fave soaps, sports, and the loudest laughs. No extra charge, just internet connection. Your shows, your vibes, your anytime, anywhere bestie. GoTV Stream. Download it now.
In a fast-growing urban environment like Accra, safety should not be too far-reaching. It should be as easy as ABC. Hear the real stories from those who now feel safe like never before with Response 1.
We were held at gunpoint in our own home, and they got away with it.
We didn't have Response 1 back then. That was the most terrifying experience of our lives.
But after that, we subscribed to Response 1 to ensure that never happens again. The last time the hoodlums tried, we had installed Response 1 monitored alarm system. Their response team arrived, followed by the police, to ensure we are safe.
Don't wait for tragedy to strike. Protect your home with Response 1's monitored alarm system and our theft protection guarantee. Immediate response, real protection. Response 1. Stay connected, stay protected.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. This is Breakfast Daily here on Channel 1 TV. I'll take a few of your messages and then I'll go to Elvis for his comments on the mid-year budget review. The messages are coming in fast. This one says, good morning. Elvis has said everything. What's the joy in fighting and killing your neighbor? Our people in Bawku should give peace a chance, please. This one says, it's rather unfortunate. The question is, who takes what where? Our brothers should give peace a chance. Kwesi Adomina from Winneba. This one is saying, good morning. Kindly ask Mr. Madilo to show us the data from the Bank of Ghana where the dollar was selling at 17 when MPP was in power. Let the NDC be truthful for once. This is Dennis. He says, Dennis, good morning. His name is Willie. This one says, good morning to you and your panelists. The truth of the matter is the conflict has been with them since, but you see, it has escalated because of the promises made by politicians. Now the Kusasis are demanding their pound of flesh for voting for the NDC, although they are MPP. This is Sebawa in Site 12. Good morning to you and your panelists. In fact, Dennis must be honest to himself and Ghanaians at large, because propaganda on this Bawku fight can't help matters. Per Dennis's analysis, it means that the NDC used this fight for political power, and so they will also follow the same channel for power come 2028. Then they should forget it. My question is, when did the fight start and which government was in power and should have resolved the fight? MPP and their propaganda. In fact, Dennis is not being truthful at all this morning. This one says, hi, good morning. Please extend my greetings to Patriot Dennis Miracles Abuaje and Honorable Frank Asiedu Bekwing, MP for Suhum. I want to humbly remind His Excellency, Protozwa. I want to remind His Excellency about his previous statement on using AI to combat the Galamsey menace during his campaign tour as presidential candidate. He mentioned that Galamsey was linked to individuals at the presidency. Okay, this one says, good morning, sir. Please, my name is Abdul from Bolga. I want to tell the MPP to stop what they are saying, because even if the Bawku conflict is caused by politicians, and it's people like themselves who sit on TV stations to pollute people about this whole thing, and even it has to do with politics, then it all came from them. All right, so send your messages in. Let us hear from you. Keep them coming in. We'll do our best to read them out. Elvis, your take on the mid-year budget review. What the NDC or the finance minister says of the economy and what the MPP says, the minority says, is their position regarding the mid-year budget review.
They all actually spoke the truth, but they all spoke what favors them.
Right.
But the economy is the same.
Right.
So
the economy stands in the middle.
The economy is where it is. But the NDC want to say things that will make them look good. And then people will say, no, we did this. We also don't allow you to take credit. We also say it.
Well, it was quite easy for Dr. Atufo to tout his achievements.
The achievements, the question is it his achievement truly? 3 months after reading your budget? You understand it?
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying that Then the Atufasi spoke what will make NDC look good. The MPP also spoke what makes MPP look good when they did what they did. And the bottom line, the economy is where it is.
Yes.
See?
So either side claiming credits, but the economy
let's
is
face
where
the economy
we
where
should
it
face the
is.
economy.
See, let's talk about the dollar. People are asking one that question. It's always the case that when you are in government, you want to refer to the dollar rate that the Bank of Ghana gives because that is lower.
Yeah.
But when you are in opposition, you want to hammer on the market, the
Yeah.
market, because that one is higher, and that one makes the government look bad.
Right.
But the CD is what it is. It is this at the Bank of Ghana. It is this in the open market.
Right.
There's nothing you can do about it. That's what it is. You can never get the dollar at the price the Bank of Ghana will mention. And they will tell you it's called an indicative rate.
Right.
Because even at the Forex Bureau, the bureaus are supposed to add their own margins to it and sell. So Bank of Ghana will tell you that whatever they put there is called an indicative rate.
Yeah.
But if you're in government, you want to hammer on the indicative rate because that is lower. That makes you look like you are managing the city well. But you don't want to hear about what is the open market price. But the bottom line is, it's always the case that though the indicative price is there, if you want a dollar, it's the open market price you get it. And let's be realistic about it. See, I always say the politicians, they are always caught by their own words. And if they will learn to manage expectations, people will not get disappointed in them so bigly. But politicians believe that they have to sell hope. So when in the process of selling the hope, they try to actually make it look as if problems can vanish within a short time. And then that expectation is what the ordinary Ghanaian works with. So then when it turns out the problem is not vanishing, they say, but this is what you said. Oh, but you know, it can't happen now. Why did you tell the person that the thing will take a longer time to achieve? But make it look as if it's something that once you win, is resolved. You understand it? So if our politicians will begin to realize that, look, whether NDC or NPP, the political class is getting a bad name, that they always promise and then they do little. Why wouldn't both parties decide that, look, let's manage expectations by telling people what really the situation is? And for me, that is what we need. But if we give them higher expectations and then when we win the elections, delivery becomes a problem, the people will continue to lose confidence in politics. And at this time, we have to talk more about this because if in 2020, the people who went out to vote, we've actually added more people to the register in 2024. But the number who turned out to vote is less than those who voted in 2020. It means that confidence in the political class is an issue. See, the economy, you can't do politics with the economy because, see, as Miracle Rattle said, if you go to the market today and say, I want the price of this, it's not what NDC or MPP will tell you. It is what the price is in the market that you buy it.
Right.
So somebody can come and tell them, oh, we have reduced the price. If you go to the market and the market person says, what you have heard or what somebody has told you is not what we are selling it. This is the price. Are you going to say the person should sell to you the price that the politician has told you? No, because the politician is not the one that is selling the product. It's the market woman or man who is selling. So we should learn to put these things together. See, the budget really talks about all this, but as I've said, and I'll say it, the moment Ghana decided that we are going to IMF and we'll do a debt restructuring, the economy has been reset so that it can start regrowing. And I've said it. Anytime I go to IMF, it's a complete reset of our economy because we believe that the indicators are bad. And for it to be corrected, we need support. The support we need, we cannot find it ourselves. That's why we need somebody to help us. And then we go to the IMF. The IMF is largely a confidence issue. And there's some small money they will give us plus interest. The money is not free, it's be a loan. Then we try to say, okay, if Ghana economy can grow by this percentage in the next year. So we set all the targets. So if you go and take the IMF document and you take the DDP, you will see that all the targets we are talking about or where the direction of the economy is going is what we have decided that we want to do. That's what the IMF accepted. You understand it? So when you look at it, that after we were able to complete the Eurobond issues, you realize that the pressure on the CD started slowing down because now there's confidence that investors now believe that we are trying to recalibrate our economy in the right direction. So for me, this idea of, NDC is take credit for everything, I said I credit them in the sense that the credit I'm giving them is because they have not come to deviate from what we have already signed on to under the IMF. everything that we decided to, the NDC didn't come and say, oh, NPP did, so we are deviating. They've decided to continue because they believe that that's the right direction the economy must go. And that's the best thing we do. So for the fact that the monetary and fiscal policy are working together to make sure that those indicators, we actually are able to achieve them, and even if we can even increase on our performance, it's very good. So the NDC deserves credit for making sure that what the previous government started, that is the direction the economy must go. Because that is the agreement we have had with the IMF and all the donor partners, that this is the direction the economy must go if Ghana economy to grow. And we all sign on to it. The fact that a new government has come and is continuing the process, we should all laud them for that. But the NDC can never tell me that in 3 months that they've read their budget, they are the one who made all the money that they are using to make all the payments. No. It's spillover of things. In fact, the NPP has been punished for taking those bitter decisions. The NDC is benefiting by the ones spending the money. Because most of the benefits from the DDEP and IMF and everything that we are talking about is the NDC government that is going to enjoy it. Because the economy has been reset from 2023 to 2028. NDC is in power from 2025 to 2028. So for the 4-year period that the NDC is going to be in power, all the benefits, all the 4.7 billion that the donors have given us, majority of the money of that we will be benefiting, that will come to us, that we will not be paying for. When we raise our revenue, we can use it instead of using to pay interest or paying principal on the loan. They are forgiving us, so the money now we can raise, we don't need to use to go and pay those principal and but we can use it to do projects. All those benefits is coming to the NDC government, but not the NPP.
Well, while they are benefiting, they'll be servicing our debts as well.
No, yes, but this year we are not servicing because the debt services start from next year.
The period you gave.
But it is because the interest and the principal has been cut to almost 40%.
Right.
If not for DDEP and IMF, the interest and the principal that we should be paying should be 40% more than what NDC government would have paid. Are you telling me that NDC government can raise that money without the DDEP and the rest? So I thought the main benefit, the main beneficiary is Ghana. But if we want to politicize it, the NDC is the main beneficiaries of the bitter decisions that the NPP has took. Because just at the end of the decisions, they exited power. So the benefit that's supposed to flow out of it, that your interest and principal on your debt, both domestic and foreign, that you are supposed to pay, now this percentage has been forgiven. And therefore, when you raise your domestic revenue, instead of being under pressure to change it to dollars to go and pay 40% more than what you are supposed to pay, that 40% more is not money you are supposed to. It becomes savings for the state. And then now you can use it for other projects. In the budget, I suppose that there are 55 projects, okay, that donors stop that they won't continue funding because we have decided to renegotiate our debt. And that they want to wait that to the end of the negotiation to know what the new terms before they continue to disburse money for those projects. All those 55 projects were NPP projects. But now, after everything, we have agreed. And then now you go to negotiate with them and they decide that they will release the money. All that money is coming to its NDC in government to continue all those projects. So you see, if we take away the politics and then we begin to say, yes, NPP did it to this point, we believe that the targets they set with the new environment, we can even improve it faster than what is the IMF bailout. Because for how we did that, we have decided that fiscal policy will not take left and monetary policy will take right. Exactly. So we want to do it together. So we believe that even what is there, we will not do the political pressure of this must be done so that we divert. Which Atufuatu keep insisting that he doesn't want to spend money that Ghana does not have, which is what we should do. Right. Because if we spend what we don't have, that is where we need to be borrowing more. So if you are telling Ghanaians the truth about this thing, I believe that all the arguments about who should take credit for this and who take credit for that will not even arise. You understand it? Yeah. Will not even arise. As to whether the CD dollar rate we should be using open market or should be using BOG rate. We agree that BOG rate is indicative. So what you get in the market will not be BOG rate. So definitely what you get it at the open market will be higher than what you get at BOG rate. So you can't go to a bank and say BOG sells this. At the end of the day, the market is not going to sell at that because BOG itself admits that what they are giving you does not mean that you're going to get it at the same price, but it's an indicative rate that this is what, and that the interest, the difference should not be that big. So when we take away the politics, out of our economic issues, as I said, if you go and buy cement today, they will not say you are NPP, so they are selling it for you at this price, or you are NDC at this price. And then wonder, you see, I've said this to politicians. Most of them, when they're having communication, they talk as if it's only NDC MP people who exist in this country. They are talking to each other. So they forget about there are a lot of Ghanaians who also are in the system who needs to hear from them. So if Miracle is NPP and Miracle attacks the government and you are responding as a government, I expect that your response should not be to Miracle.
It should be Ghanaians.
It should be targeted at how do I get those Ghanaians. But this has been the problem with our politics. Both NDC and NPP, when they are talking to each other,
it's a one-way communication.
The argument is as if you say this about me, I'm also saying this about you. But then they should understand that when you are in government, the expectation of the people of you is different from expectation from opposition. Because every Ghanaian understands that for opposition, they are not in charge of the public purse. So whatever is happening in opposition, little attention. But for government, you are in charge of the public purse. So everybody, including the NPP people who voted against you, they all expect you, the government, to solve their problem. And they all put pressure and demand from you.
To remind you is that don't lose sight of what the opposition did when they were in power.
I understand, but I'm saying that if you continue that direction to a point, you are likely to lose the trust of the person. Because when the person complains, and your response is always look at what NPP has done. The question is, then why did NPP lose the elections?
Right.
You understand? And if the response continues that way, it will kind of affect you later because people say anything people raise, they are always referring you to what the previous government. You understand it?
No, that's not entirely true. The NDC we have learnt from 2016 when the MPP went on the frolic of the and deceived Ghanaians. This time round, we're not going to allow them to go around the world trying to trumpet things that did not exist. So we owe it a responsibility, one, to correct the wrong impression that is being put out by the MPP. Of course, if Miracles is talking, today in this studio, he's here both as a Ghanaian and then also as NPP. The messenger is as good as the message. And therefore, when he puts out a statement that contradicts his performance in government, he should be reminded, or the MPP should be reminded. Two, we are also conscious that we are talking to Ghanaians, and they are the best judge of this our performance, and so that is not in question. But what we don't want to do is to allow the MPP to go on the frolic of their own, deceiving Ghanaians or putting out information that is untruth. Because Gobel's theory tells us that keep repeating the lie until it becomes the truth, until they believe it. So we are not going to do that. We are not going to lose sight of what they did to us in 2016, and then deceive Ghanaians, came to government, and then we saw the kind of governance they left behind.
This message says
if Gobel's theory works, like no party should lose election because the government is going to do more propaganda than anybody.
Let me take a few messages and then we'll move on. This is very interesting from Miracles. Today he says that when you leave office, you don't need to be called into a national conversation. I like this because he was shouting over the roof about what the NDC left before the MPP came to power. I'm not sure what he says that he keeps talking about, where he stays, that he keeps talking about light off because it's not always going off. Today, Miracles is Ghanaian. Okay, this one says, good morning. Is Miracles saying that he's suffering? Is he talking about electricity problems? What is this man even saying? If you create problems before leaving and someone is finding ways to solve it, you are saying that they shouldn't let us know? Okay, this one says, ask him if they decide to rerun elections now. From the way he's saying, Ghanaians are suffering. If he thinks they will win, they should focus on overhauling and rebuilding. Miracles, let's deal with facts, not fiction. When Channel 1 went to the grounds themselves and said it, things are getting better. Okay, I'm sure you're referring to a report that we aired. Ask the station's managers about the real responses. And then, okay, the NDC has been vibrant, vocal, and focused. That's the truth, not propaganda. We are not just surviving anymore. We are seeing progress. This one says, good morning from the Ghana Armed Forces. It is not the number of military personnel that matters, but the ability of the military to act independently without politicians and in accordance with truthfulness. However, the ability to secure the highways for safe movement of passengers and goods along Bawku, Bolga, Tamale, Bawku to Pumakum, and Bawku to Kulungugu is key. Sectional operational strategies should be adopted. This one says, in 2024, I used to fill my gas 12 kilograms at 230 cedis, but now it is 180 cedis. I am not spending like I used to. Tell Miracles that there has been a great miracle he's not aware of. The truth must be told. We've seen it ourselves. He should not waste his strength on this issue. All right, let's move into some NPP politics. Miracles, will Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia be contesting the flag bearership race?
Yes, of course.
When are we expecting an announcement? We've seen 2 announcements so far. Kwame Japan, Kennedy, or Hine Japan.
Oh, very soon. I mean, very soon Dr. Bawumia would be we'll be announcing it. It won't be too long. Very soon.
Right. So let's look at the contest going forward. Nominations have been opened, and we should be expecting primaries. Are we still going with the January 31st, 2026 date?
Yes, I think conference, National Council has already set that date, and post the conference, the announcements have been done. As we speak, nomination is opened. The processes are ongoing. The electoral college is known. And so, I mean, everybody is putting their selves in readiness to start engaging the delegates for the 31st January election. So it's going to happen. I mean, the MPP is clear in their minds that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia would have to run again because his vision is quite well articulated to the people of this country. His record in public service is quite exemplary. He basically possessed the critical attributes that the Ghanaian people would need. Let's understand that at every point in time, the Ghanaian voter reserves the right to determine which of the visions and plans proposed by the various candidates are relevant to them. I mean, in 2016, they thought that John Mohammed's message wasn't what they needed in 2017 to 2020. So John Mohammed was voted against. In 2020, they felt that, he should wait with his vision and plans. So in 2024, it was quite clear that the people felt that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's plans should wait. But I'm quite confident that having listened to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, having followed him, having heard the vision that he articulates, 2028 is the right time for him to show the Ghanaian people the plans he has for us and implement these things to our benefit. I always say that we should not as a country lose the value that we have in Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. We rarely get in Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia the kind of politician he is. We rarely get that. This country has been very much used to the thoroughbred, hardcore politicians for a very long time. I think the closest we came to having Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's kind was in Professor Mills, where you have a fine balance between a technocrat and a politician. I think it's Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's time. We should give him the chance to also implement the plans and strategies that he has for us. So we are going to be hitting the ground. We'll be engaging the party people across the length and breadth of this
When
country.
is vetting?
I think the calendar has been shared. It was shared yesterday.
But Dr. Dokufuor chairs the committee.
Honestly,
I think that's what the information we have.
So I mean, we'll be following these calendars and timelines with the party. But you can be rest assured that Dr. Bawumia is going to make a very good case to the party people and eventually to the Ghanaian people to be president in 2028.
Very well. Wonder, let me give you 2 minutes to speak to people.
That's why it's not his business.
Some 4 or 5 fake names have come up.
It's not his house matter.
Okay, wish them well.
Yes, all. This one, just move on. What does it got to do with Wonder?
Ultimately, president.
We should be interested in what
No. This one.
You should be interested in your opponent's affairs.
I think we're watching with your eyes what will unfold in the MPP. The only thing I am a bit sure about, and very sure about, is that they won't be able to win the 2028 elections. That for a fact. It doesn't matter who comes. In fact, they can bundle 2 candidates
together
that are
and present the united force.
They will still lose the elections. Because you see, one of the ways to win elections is to first of all clean your house.
Right.
And I see a very sharp division in the party over this date. To the extent that President Kufuor spoke to the issue. To the extent that we're told President Akufo-Addo also, intimated some views and all that, and written to them and all that. So it's a difficulty how they want to go forward, with this agenda of having to elect earlier than normal, which is, one of the few things they have done in opposition that I think may cost them if they don't.
Their National Delegates Conference at Legon recently. It's like the house cleaning is emotion.
No, once you are in power, you organize such events, people will show up. That one is not a problem.
It doesn't matter.
So it could be even just one of the candidates' followers coming to that stadium.
How many people voted?
How many people voted for Kennedy in the last election? Some 37 or so percent. 37%. In how many?
Will the dynamics be the same this time?
No, I just want to let you know that people don't easily forget when they are paid, I've listened to Kennedy. He said something. He said that it's going to be difficult, but they will contest and all that. What does that statement mean to you? So a lot of people disagreed with the early Congress thing. You know, some of us also felt they could have listened to their people a lot more, because you see the difficulties that the same people who elected Dr. Mahmoud Balmia in the last elections, in terms of their executives, are still at post.
Right.
So you are just expecting the same outcome of what happened, because the delegates, you know, it hasn't changed much. You know, and few people have lost their lives. I don't know how they want to replace that. People have traveled. I don't know how to. So the essence of having, you know, what branch reorganization, constituency reorganization, is to make sure that the register is credible, and the credibility lies on the availability of the people. People have traveled. People are no longer. People have passed on, and people are no longer interested in your party. There could even be moles at this stage. But unfortunately, they still want to go with the same register. That's fair. That's okay with them. But we wish them well. We wish them well.
And you looking out with your good eyes.
He doesn't wish them well. He doesn't wish them well.
Talk about Kennedy, Japan, Brian Champon, Yawo say a Duchum, Boache Jacko, possibly Kwabne Japan. I mean, your take on the NPP's presidential primaries.
Well, I think all this way I mentioned, anybody who follow politics knows that it's expected that these people want to lead the NPP. If you look at the previous, the last primaries before, some people drop out along there. So, no man, I think for me, election of the flag bearer is just a least thing that NPP should be worried about now. Because I say what the results of the elections is clear. Now, a lot of their own people are not happy and did not turn out to vote.
Right.
So the main job ahead of them is about how to resolve internal issues that will make everybody feel like we need to work for the party to come to power. That, to me, is the greatest challenge they face. So I think this flag bearer issue on the rest, yeah, they will vote, they will elect somebody. But the question is, in 2028, will the core NPP people want to go out and vote? So it's about how they manage the process. If it's managed in a way that people feel like, well, let's forget about the past. We think this process, the fairness and balance and the way that things went is good. That, but people, if done in a manner that at the end of the day, people get angry and people are not satisfied, people feel like things didn't go the way it should go. And then those people and their supporters decide that, okay, then they want to stay out. That is the problem for any political party. Because keeping your base together and getting most of your base working for you at every level is what gingers a political party. So I think the flag bearer race, yes, those that they want to contest, I think that they should more be concerned about
rebuilding from scratch.
Because they say that the ultimate goal of a political party is to capture political power.
Yeah.
So the focus should be which candidate is likely to help them win power. That should be the number one thing in the mind of anybody in the NPP, because at the end of the day, if you don't win power, all the effort you put in is zero in politics.
Very well. Thank you so much, gentlemen. We'll have to leave it here, but thank you so much for your time and your contributions. Thank you to you also for sending in your messages. Stay with us on here because Breakfast Daily continues.
Drowning in deadlines, data running wild. Let's fix this together. Join the evolution. Join the sharpest minds in HR at the HR Connect Conference 2025 on August 8 at the Marvin Peak Hotel, Accra, under the theme Empowering HR Excellence, Leveraging Data, Resilience, and Wellness for a Thriving Workplace. It's not just another conference. It's strategy, tech, wellness, and a few smart laughs too. panels, keynotes, real talk, and real solutions. Let's lead, connect, and transform the way we work. For further inquiries and bookings, please call on 0541 222 365 to secure your seat. HR Connect Conference 2025. Lead, connect, transform.
Hey, tech folks, Mona Lisa here. It's time to reconnect, relive, and rejoice.
Tech Alumni Homecoming 2025 is happening from August 1st to 3rd, and campus will be buzzing.
Friday, campus tour, mentorship sessions, and innovation-filled opening and oldies jam by night.
Saturday, we walk, plant, play, and glam up for dinner and awards.
And Sunday, Thanksgiving, brunch at a poolside farewell.
Mark your calendars. Tech Alumni Homecoming 2025. Reconnect, relive, rejoice.
The Presec Old Boys Association proudly presents Conversations Under the Baobab Tree 2.0, an Odadia National Dialogue. This year, we tackle a topic that touches every Ghanaian towards a holistic approach to agriculture in Ghana. Join us on Wednesday, 30th of July at exactly 6 p.m. at the EcoBank Head Office Auditorium. Come hear from one of Ghana's most celebrated farmers, Odadia James Boateng, 2018 National Best Farmer, delivering the keynote address. Meet the speakers: Odadia Professor Felix Ankoma Asante, Pro-Vice Chancellor of Research at the University of Ghana; Beacon Sheila Cornelius, Managing Director of Cornelius Farms and CEO of Lawn Naturals; Odadia Dr. Ernest Esiedu, Agricultural Transformation Specialist at IITA; Odadia Kwame Asaria Mwakohene, Managing Director of CTA Engineering Ghana Limited; and Odadia Dr. Henry Enim Sumwa, Director of Operations, Agromite Limited. Let's rally together under the Baobab Tree and chart a new course for Ghana's agricultural future. Powered by Channel 1 TV and proudly brought to you in partnership with EcoBank. For more information, visit www.odadia.net. Illuminatu videbimus lumen. In thy light, we shall see light. The general public is warmly invited. See you there.
Still on the old My DSTV app? Time to make the switch. And yes, it's as easy as it sounds. Just download the new My DSTV app and log in as you normally would. Everything you need is right there. Your account, your settings, your offers. It's a smoother way to pay, upgrade, reconnect, or clear errors. All in fewer steps. No hassle, just more control in less time. Download the new My DSTV app, made to make it easy.
The entries have been received and the marking has begun. Who makes it to the next round of the Literacy Challenge 2025? Randomly selected entries will be read on 97.3 City FM on Brunch in the City and the Traffic Avenue, and on Breakfast Daily on Channel 1 TV. Stay tuned to 97.3 City FM and Channel 1 TV to find out who makes it to level 2 of the Literacy Challenge on Monday, 4th August 2025. Level 2 Aptitude Test. The top 50 contestants from across Ghana to make it to the next round shall take part in a written aptitude test on Saturday, 9th August 2025 at 12 noon at the British Council, Accra. Grand Finale. The top 10 contestants chosen from Level 2 shall compete for the grand prize of 10,000 Ghana cedis in a classic quiz competition on Friday, 15th August 2025. The Literacy Challenge 2025 is powered by City FM, supported by Channel 1 TV, and sponsored by Belmu and GB Assessment.
When the stars come out, Ghana Weekend turns up the lights. From the hottest red carpet moments to the wildest after parties. And for all your celebrations, anniversaries, and unforgettable moments, if it's happening, we're there. First, fast, and fabulously. Your front row pass to Ghana's A-list lifestyle is just a click or a channel away. GhanaWeekend.com and Ghana Weekend TV, where fame meets the fans. Promote your next big event with us, because when you party with the stars, the whole nation of black stars should know. Visit GhanaWeekend.com, watch and subscribe to Ghana Weekend TV on YouTube. Stay connected with us across all platforms. Follow us on Instagram with the handle at GhanaWeekend.com, on X at Ghana Weekend, on TikTok, Ghana Weekend, and on Facebook at Ghana Weekend. Join the Ghana Weekend family today. Ghana Weekend, all access, all glam, all yours.
You're welcome back. You're still live on Breakfast Daily. Thank you so much for choosing to spend your morning with us. This is Breakfast Daily. Now, this morning, here's what to expect on the show. We'll have some conversations about the literacy challenge as we've gone through phase 1 of the challenge and we are entering into the second stage. We'll tell you more about it shortly or later on in the show as well. We'll be having some conversations from DOFSU. They are doing a 30-day activism against gender-based violence. We'll talk about that as well later on in the show. And of course, we'll bring you some entertainment news and most definitely the trends. So do stay with us. My name is Jifa KD Akutu.
I am Philip Nilati. Jifa, don't forget we go to some of the communities as well.
Most definitely.
You go to a community near you. There are pressing issues that really we have to get to the government's attention when it comes to these things. For that reason, we on Channel 1 TV here ensure that every now and then bring you something that is happening in a community close to you. But you would want to stay with us here from now to 11 and know the community we will visit or the area we will be in today. But I'm sure yesterday Apioko was here, the head of programs production at Channel 1 TV here and also City FM, indicated that that's level 1 or stage 1 of the literacy challenge is done. We are now moving to level 2 or stage 2. This stage comes up with an aptitude test. And also for the top 50 contestants from across Ghana to make it to the next round of the literacy challenge shall take part in a written aptitude test. We are expecting that by Monday, the top 50 announcement will be made on radio and also on TV. And for the aptitude test, it will be done at the British Council Accra at 12 noon, Saturday, 9th August, 2025. So stay glued to your radio set and also to your television, and let it be on City FM and also Channel 1 TV, so you will know whether your part or your ward is part of the top 50 or not.
Right. So after the while the literacy challenge conversation has been had, but let me just remind you that we'll have a deeper conversation about the literacy challenge this morning. So if you're watching us and your ward sent in his or her essay, or if you're a teacher and your student sent in his or her essay, do stay here. And if you have any questions when the guest comes in, you can send a message so that we ask him for you, then you get answers to your questions. Moving on, the Volunteers TV show is still showing right here on Channel 1 TV, so do stay with us this and every Saturday at 6:30 p.m. and catch Sunday at 6:30 p.m. and catch a bit of the Volunteers, a TV show right here on Channel 1 TV, right?
And don't forget
of
that
course, this is Ghana.
This is Ghana
is coming in shortly. Last year it was great. It was a beautiful event, and we saw some of the amazing and innovative things some small businesses, medium, or even large enterprises are doing. And when I went around some of the shelves or the stands And I was blown away, really, because I asked myself, oh, is this also made in Ghana? This was the question I kept asking throughout. Oh, we have this in Ghana. Do we actually produce this in Ghana? And you see the intentionality that the owners put into the products, the packaging, even the taste or the quality of whatever they were exhibiting. So if you are interested in This is Ghana this year, I'm sure that you do not want to miss out when we announce the calls for vendors. And you can also join or be a vendor and be a part of this year's This is Ghana by calling the number 0205 973 973.
And
0205 973 973 if you want to be a part of This is Ghana to showcase your products. Philip, you want to say something?
And this will be done at the Fuasana Land Park.
Exactly.
Previous ones was done at the forecourts of the
AMA. Yeah.
That's why we want a bigger space. So when you come, you'll be able to go through all the stands and all that. Get to buy something, get to know somebody, and also just be interested in the fact that some of the products are being produced in Ghana.
All of the products, actually.
Yes.
All of the products, because it's a strictly Ghanaian businesses. So all of the products are produced here in Ghana. And as I said earlier on, you'll be blown away by the things that Ghanaian businesses are able to do or are doing. And the fact that most of these products, some are not even seen on the market as much because they are for exports.
Yes.
And we are here in Ghana and you'll be wondering, oh, this is made here and I don't even see. Then you get to hear, oh, we are all over the world. We are across a number of countries. And you're like, oh, that's cool. Anyway, This is Ghana is happening on the 6th and 7th of September 2025. So do make a date and be a part of it.
And each day is 10 a.m. and you just come there and buy something. But now let's move to the trends. There's something that is trending.
Philip, just before we get onto the trends, let me remind viewers that if you want to stay updated with all our news, all of the happenings in Ghana and across the world, do make sure that you are downloading the Channel One News app on the Google Play Store. This for the Android users. If you have an Android smartphone, do download the news app, because I say all the time that for TV, sometimes you're on the move. You can't really sit at home to catch up what is going on. But that doesn't mean that you should miss out on the important things that are happening around you. You need to stay updated. You need to stay informed and stay educated. So download the Channel One News app on the Google Play Store and stick with us. Do make sure that you are streaming our contents on YouTube as well, sharing, liking, and commenting in the comment section.
Okay, so that's said by Jifa. I will move straight to the trends. Not long ago, we saw the president of Cameroon, Paul Biya, stating or bringing out a statement that he would contest in for the 7th term in office as a president. Just yesterday, Al-Hassan Ouattara of Ivory Coast has also declared his intention to contest for the 4th time. So this is something that people are raising on social media, and a lot of talks about that. People are asking that, so who is actually bewitching Africans? To the fact that Paul Biya, we understand, is a long-serving president in the world, I think, for 43 years. And now we have Al-Hassan Ouattara, somewhere for 24 years, and he still wants to contest again. 82 or 83-year-old man who wants to contest again. Some of the tweets that we have seen on this story, this one coming from our own Osajifo Oliver Baka Voma, says that Al-Hassan Ouattara, the French puppet, has at 83 years old just announced to run a 4th term. France approves, EU is quiet, Ghana is doing and looking, but Tuari, that is Traore, is the problem of Africa. Well, that's the question he's asking. Another one too that came in also is also indicating that with what is happening in on the continent, the declaration from Al-Hassan Ouattara raises a lot of questions that need to be answered. But the big question is that what at all do you want on the seat in office, that you'd want to be in office as a president for a very long time?
You know, earlier on before we came on the show, I mentioned that it seems that after tasting power, they realize, or they come to the realization that, oh, there's something sweet.
Yeah,
the dance will say, there's something sweet happening here. So in this industry, so let me just stay here if possible for as long as I want to, or for as long as the people. And funnily enough, we are the same people who put them there. If when they keep coming, they are not voted for, or they don't get any votes, or little votes as or as little than what they had in the previous year, I think maybe it will change their orientation to see that indeed the people are tired. They want change. They want something different, because
just recently we saw the
exactly
issue,
are you bringing on board that you couldn't do all over the years?
Yes.
What new ideas are you bringing on board? And I don't know, I don't understand what kind of policies they sell to their people, that they keep giving them the mandates to lead them. So it is also us. It is us.
It's a big problem. And even if you are saying the entire a number of African countries, Togo, just recently, we saw what was happening in Togo. What are we doing to ourselves as Africans? Let me read this last tweet on this story, because a typical African says that he's the right president for Côte d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast. Alassane Ouattara is a puppet placed on a people by France since December 4, 2010, making it over 24 years now. Well, I wouldn't want to read the rest of what has been written here, but it looked like something really has to be checked. If ECOWAS is quiet on this, ECOWAS must really speak on this, because it's not something that we would really... I really don't know what the old men are looking out for when it comes to managing the affairs of a country. I don't know how well you've been able to do it in the past, and what exactly you should have done in the past that you haven't done yet that you still want to do. You are old. Please move out of office and let's see how things will happen.
Well, let's move on. Philip, while we're moving on, still on the trend, 2nd August is trending. And people are asking, or you may be wondering why 2nd August is trending. So the family of Daddy Lumba came out to announce that there'll be a vigil for the late legendary on the 2nd of August. And interestingly, our very own Lil Wayne, Kojon Kansa, who is popularly known in the Kumaud or Ghanaian movie industry as Lil Wayne, has a movie premiere, his new movie, which is called Captain Traore.
Ibrahim Traore.
Yes, is out, and then he's premiering it on the same date, 2nd August. So Lil Wayne doesn't seem to understand why Daddy Lumba's vigil is being held on the same day. He's concerned.
As a sabotage.
Yes, he says it seems as a sabotage to him. The family wants to sabotage his movie premiere. But if you ask me, I think I don't think the family. Not to say that I'm holding beef for them, but I guess I don't know. They didn't even think about him before planning the date, and I just think that Lil Wayne should just move his date to the following week after the vigil.
Another argument to be what he's invested, the amount of money.
Well, yeah, he mentioned that he's invested a lot, and you know he's actually brought Captain Traore into the country.
Oh, really?
Yes, he's here in Ghana.
Maybe I'm yet to see that.
Yes, there were videos of his arrival at the airport and all of that.
Yes.
So maybe he's concerned. But aside from that, that's not the only event happening on the 2nd of August. There are other events happening. So I just think that if he thinks he spent so much and he thinks that their attention is going to move from him, because clearly Daddy Lumba is a legend. So people would want to rather attend the vigil than... But funnily enough, too, his premiere is in Kumasi. The vigil is in Accra. So 2 different locations.
But the argument is that people from Kumasi will move down to Accra, because when you go to the Ashanti region of Kumasi, people, let me say, everybody loves Daddy Lumba nationwide, but I can say a chunk of his fan base is in Kumasi. So maybe they may move down to Accra to...
So he should just change his date, if you ask me, and then possibly even hold a very short in the movie premiere vigil for Lumba as well, just to celebrate him. Pretty much.
Anyway, let's see how that will turn out to be in the coming days. Just some few days from now, 2nd of August is just Saturday. Let's see how things will turn out. We understand that Messi will now have body cam on him as well when he's playing match. We don't know how that one is going to be. Imagine you are playing football and you have body cam on you, and it's actually capturing every move, every step you take. how you strike, how you play, and all that. Just interesting one there. Anyway, that's it for the trends for you out there and our viewers. Let's now bring you the video of the day.
I catch you be, you not be God. Waiting. Share rights. You talk say you are coming, you are coming. Nah, they tell me say no meat. When I go chop jollof with egg. They will chop you with egg. See that cooler now meat full inside. You want kind of I go jam your cooler. You see how they play with jollof. You know how much of where? You know where the drive come from? Never see anything. Now catch you be, you not be God. Waiting. Share rights. You talk say you are coming, you are coming. Nah, they tell me say no meat. When I go chop jollof with egg. They will chop you with egg. See that cooler now meat full inside. You want kind of
Drop it slab, no?
cooler. You see how they play with jollof. You know how much of where? You know where the drive come from? Never see anything. Now catch you be, you not be God. Waiting. Share rights. You talk say you are coming, you are coming. Nah, they tell me say no meat. When I go chop jollof with egg. They will chop you with egg. See that cooler now meat full inside. You want kind of I go jam your cooler. You see how they play with jollof. You know how much of where? You know where the drive come from? Never see anything. Now catch you be, you not be God. Waiting. Share rights. You talk say you are coming, you are coming. Nah, they tell me say no meat. When I go chop jollof with egg. They will chop you with egg. See that cooler now meat full inside. You want kind of I go jam your cooler. You see how they play with jollof. You know how much of where? You know where the drive come from? Never see anything. Now catch you be, you not be God. Waiting. Share rights. You talk say you are coming, you are coming. Nah, they tell me say no meat. When I go chop jollof with egg. They will chop you with egg. See that cooler now meat full inside. You want kind of I go jam your cooler. You see how they play with jollof. You know how much of where? You know where the drive come from? Never see anything. Now catch you be, you not be God. Waiting. Share rights. You talk say.
Which country is this? Now only this country this problem.
Nobody can tell me otherwise. This is definitely somewhere in Africa.
Really?
Definitely, because it's only Africans that can pull this off. Who puts a whole container at the back of a bike and fixes the second pair of wheels on the container? Can you imagine?
Like, serious. Where are we going with this continent?
God help us.
So be it. God help us. Anyway, let's continue with the show. We've been telling you about the Literacy Challenge 2025. Well, we've moved from stage 1 and we are now going to stage 2. So if you have sent in your entries, it's now time for you to really pay attention to the station, whether TV or radio, and get to know whether you are part of the final 50 before it's going to cut down to 10. But we will have a number of conversations on that this morning, like Jifa indicated earlier. And in studio is a very big man, like when he said on City Breakfast Show, a very big man. He is the Programs and Marketing Communications Executive, Channel 1 TV and also City FM. Maybe you may have seen him a couple of times on the show, except that he has extra duties, so he decided to say, Philip, sit in for me. Kweku David.
Mr. Sechi.
Philip, how are you?
Ade, how are you?
I'm good.
Good morning, Mr. Sechi.
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, good.
You've been missed on this set. Good to have you this morning.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
How does it feel to be here?
To be back.
Oh, it's like that kind of feeling, kind of vibe, So yeah.
He says he's going to do something, so Philip, come and say
exactly.
Anyway, let's start the show. So Kweku, Literacy Challenge Stage 2. What are we looking at?
Okay, so we've, as you know, deadline was over the weekend for the entries from the essays. The essays have come in hard and fast. We had in excess of 400 essays coming through.
Wow.
So there's a lot of marking for the examiners. I don't envy them at all. So all that is happening now as we speak. By Monday, we will already know those who have made it to the top 50. Now, the thing about the essay competition is that the lowest mark can even be 70%, but it's still the top 50 that we are taking.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So you could somebody might say, oh, but I saw my daughter's essay. It was really good. How come she didn't make it a top 50? Because there's over 400 people that have submitted, right? And the top 50, the level 2 is only 50 people that we're going to take. And it's the examiners an enviable job to mark the scripts and to give us those people that are top 50 out of the entries that have come. Right now, that announcement will happen on Monday, God willing. Then coming Monday, that's the 4th of August. We're going to give the announcement, and then so we'll read it out right here on Breakfast Daily, as well as our other shows on 97.3 City FM. The top 50. All right. So that's on Monday. That's 3 days after my birthday. I'm just putting it out
3
there.
days after.
I'm just putting it out there.
Did you
put it out there.
So your birthday is Saturday.
No, it's Friday.
Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
1st of August.
Kweku just had to chip that in.
See, you say there's a way to
Let's Kweku Darlington on August 1.
Put it to so the birthday is coming.
Nice one.
So it's exciting times. We're looking for the level 2, which is the aptitude test. It's a rigorous of course, if you know what an aptitude test is, it's testing different areas. So there'll be some science in there, there'll be math in there, general knowledge in there. It's a mix of different things. We'll probably even have some kind of maybe an apparatus that you would have to use to answer certain questions and all of that. It's testing, more generally. So those who have been saying that how can we prove that all the essays are written by handwritten, or these people actually wrote these essays themselves. Well,
without any assistant.
Don't worry, the aptitude test is going to show the smoothness level. So if you didn't write it,
the men from the boys.
Thank you. If you didn't write it and you showed up at the aptitude test, it will take care of you. So. It's going to be happening at the British Council this time around, so it's exciting. But I came along with a few
essays
that you want to share with us.
Yes. Now, I won't read all the essays completely, but I'll just read a few paragraphs from each of the ones I have here. Now, let me just say that what's interesting is that the essays have come from so many different parts of the country. Okay. So I have one here from Nkoko. This is coming from Nanaifua Ufusua Ijepong, who is in school in Nkoko. I have one here from, this is coming from, let me just quickly get you the name. So this is coming from Ivana Macaulay. She's coming from, her school is Covenant International School in Agbakope in Volta region. Okay. And then we have one here from Bogoso. This one is so all the way in the western region. This is coming from Papa Kwame Frimpong Damwa in Bogoso. So you can see the national nature of this competition. And then Stephanie Odruwa Amofa is also coming from Oda, Oda Ridge Experimental School. So you can see, a whole range of, and these are just randomly selected scripts. All right, so let me just take you through. I'll start with Nanefua Ufusua Ijepong. All right, now, just a couple of paragraphs here. The climate change conditions of a country is taken into much consideration when its agricultural development and declining cases are concerned. Animal rearing, crop production plays a fundamental role in the economy of Ghana across different climatic zones. Climate change, being the long-term shift in the Earth's average temperatures and weather conditions, have positively and negatively had an impact on agricultural production in Ghana, as well as other African countries. Crops such as cocoa, maize, and onions are very supportive in the lives of humans, when it's been affected, becomes a problem. This document highlights the effects of climate change on agriculture, its challenges on individuals, communities, the nation, as well as effective interventions to mitigate these effects. Now, to start with, climate change on agriculture has led to the reduction of soil fertility due to changes in precipitation and temperature. Normally, when climate change occurs, there's a likelihood of an unequal distribution of temperature. That is, areas influenced by climate would also experience in an equal proportion of cold and hot temperatures, resulting in excessive rainfall and drought. Okay, so she develops the thought, you know, as it goes on here, and so on. Let me just see if I can see some of the solutions she's proffered later on. Okay, at the end of the script here, she says, nevertheless, climate change contributes to shift in growing seasons and crop sustainability. Changes in temperature and precipitation patterns make it difficult for farmers to determine the growing seasons of crops. When farmers cannot determine the growing seasons of crops, it results in an increase of disease and pest pressure, which reduces crop yields. Farmers will struggle to grow a variety of crops, limiting the community's access to diverse foods. All right, so, and you know, she goes on and concludes nicely there. All right, let me take you to the one from, I think this is Papa Kwame. Yes, Papa Kwame from Bawku. Human beings have depended on fruits, vegetables, animals, and other agricultural produce for survival. Throughout the world, agriculture has been the key factor to the existence of human beings. Today, because of technology and high population growth, Ghana's agricultural sector has been modernized in a way to make it easy for farmers to farm. Crops are cultivated and animals are produced to feed Ghanaians due to high demand. Agriculture is a practice of farming that deals with the production of all edibles that humans rely on for their survival. Many agricultural crops found in Ghana include yams, grains, cocoa, oil palm, kola nuts, coconut, timber, and many more. There are three main categories of agricultural practices in Ghana. These are arable farming, pastoral farming, and mixed farming. Now, agriculture is the key role to the progress and development of Ghana. And he goes on to discuss the issue further, talks about different aspects of climate change. Let me just read what we have here. He talks about another contributor of climate change is industrialization. Excuse me. Industrial processes such as cement, steel, and aluminium production, chemical processing, and manufacturing release large amounts of greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide into the atmosphere, polluting the air and making it unsafe for breathing. So these are talking about the challenges of climate change. Let me see if we have some solutions here. Okay, so this one, he goes on to say, to address the impact of climate change on Ghana's agricultural sector, several practical solutions should be utilized. One approach is to implement soil conservation measures, such as practicing irrigation and contour farming to reduce soil erosion and maintain, terracing. Okay, that is the thing has erased off, yes. So it's one approach to implement soil conservation measures, such as practicing terracing and contour farming to reduce soil erosion and maintain good health of the soil. In Ghana's hilly regions, terracing can help reduce soil erosion and improve soil fertility, leading to increased crop yields. Okay, so that's Papa Kwame. Again, this is not the full thing. I'm just reading portions of it, just to give you a sense of how the young people are thinking. You know.
Yesterday when Apioko was here, I
Yes.
mentioned that it's interesting to hear, even some of the scripts you've read this morning, it's interesting to see that young ones as little as 11, 12, 13, 14 understand the dynamics of agriculture. They understand it so much that they are able to suggest practical solutions to all of these problems. And then, I mean, this is all that we want. This is what we want to see, because really, they are the future leaders that we are looking up to. So,
I think there should be a dialogue for kids or for children.
Of course, I
agree. These kids will be gathered to just try and tap into the knowledge. And after, the policymakers would take the little ones' ideas and see how practical it will be. Because from what you've read, what Apioko read yesterday, it looks like they understand. The Gen Alpha understands it in a particular way that can help our generation.
No, I mean, if you think about it, we send them to school for a reason. And you hope that when they go to school, they will not just learn, but understand what they're learning, you know, and be able to connect to practical life. You know, so I love the way Papa Kwame, for example, is referencing terracing. Okay, terracing and contour farming. This is something we learn in geography, right? And that's actually a practical way to prevent soil erosion. You know, and so let's ask that are farmers actually doing this, and who will insist that farmers must practice this, especially those who live in hilly areas, to cut the soil in such a way that it's terraced, you know, so that the water doesn't just run off, you know, and so on. So yeah, I mean, for me, I think that this is it's practicalizing the ideas, you know, to make sure that the country benefits. All right, so let's just do a couple more before I leave you. Do I have time for a couple more?
Let's give you 2 minutes.
To just go through
so
the last one.
So let me just give you one more. All right, so I'll take you to, I feel like I should go to Stephanie's own. Stephanie is from Odan Ridge Experimental School. And she says, climate change is one of the most pressing issues of our time, with far-reaching consequences for various sectors, including agriculture. Ghana, a country heavily reliant on agriculture, is particularly vulnerable to the impact of climate change. Rising temperatures, erratic rainfall patterns, and increased frequency of extreme weather events are altering the agricultural landscape, posing significant challenges to individual farmers, families, communities, and the nation as a whole. The effect of climate change on agriculture in Ghana are multifaceted. The effect decreased crop yields, increased pests and diseases, impact on crop production and livestock productivity. All right, so she's elicited that she takes the time to break down and takes each one of them one by one to go through them. I want to try and see what Stephanie's solutions that she's proffering are. Okay, so she has a few here. She says, firstly, climate smart agriculture implement practices such as agroforestry, conservation agriculture, and crop insurance to help farmers adapt to climate change. Agroforestry integrate trees into farming systems to reduce soil erosion, improve soil fertility, and provide shade. This is very interesting. Conservation agriculture, so breaking down the different kinds of agriculture that should be practiced. All right, this one says to promote sustainable agricultural practices that conserve soil, water, and biodiversity. Then there's the crop insurance. Provide financial protection to farmers against crop losses due to climate-related disasters. Then let me wrap up with this. It says, secondly, efficient irrigation systems. Develop and promote efficient irrigation systems to reduce dependence on rain-fed agriculture. This is something we've been talking about for a very long time, you know, and I don't even know why nationwide we don't have these irrigation systems in place. Anyway, but this is what we are doing here at Channel 1 TV and 97.3 City FM to spark the general conversation, the national conversation on not only on the pressing issue of climate change, agriculture, looking at how the nation is going to survive and all of that, but also the involvement of our young people in national discourse. You know, so anyway, like I said, on the 4th of August, we're going to do the announcement, the top 50. Then these top 50 will then go into an aptitude test on the 9th of August, which will be taking place at the British Council. And of course, out of the top 50, we're going to whittle it down further, and we will get a top 10 out of that as well. Yeah. So,
right. So for the kids who are coming, or those who would make it to the aptitude test, what should they be doing right now?
Well, I mean, let's assume that you are expecting to get into the top 50, right? Because there won't be much time between the announcement and the actual aptitude test. So just assume that you will make it. If you don't make it, you know, better luck next time. But for those who will make it, just general wide reading. You know, everything is going to be it's an aptitude test. So it's going to test your reasoning, it's going to test your numeracy, it's going to test, of course, literacy. All of that is going to come into play. You know, a bit of science at that level, of course. And all of that is going to be part of it. Yeah.
So the kids do not have much time.
No, not at all. But I guess they are very prepared because for some of them, they've been following the literacy challenge for a while now, and I guess they've seen the sequence of the challenge and then they know what to expect. And as Kweku rightly said, it's an aptitude test, so you should prepare for everything and anything. So they'll be fine. For kids to write essays like this, come on, don't cry for them. They'll be fine.
Unless you have a brother or sister or very good friend who has participated, you won't know what shows up on the paper though. You just know that it's an aptitude test and it's at your level. We will not put it anything beyond their level. You know, whatever will come on the paper is something they should know. It's something they should have been conversant with in the age category that they find themselves. So yes.
Right.
We know that at the point you be the quiz master or something.
Well,
please, I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything.
But last day you were.
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
Yes.
all right. Well, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
So I've been speaking to David. He's been here filling us all in on the literacy challenge, what to expect and what stage we are at yet now. So if you wrote to us, or if your ward wrote to us, your student wrote to us, be on the lookout for the big announcement. Be on the lookout to be part of the top 10, and of course, walking away with 10,000 Ghana cedis. That's so cool. The bragging rights and, of course, the trophy of being the winner of Literacy Challenge 2025. I wish all the contestants the best, and may the best person win. Anyway, we are taking a quick breather here. When we come back, there's more on the show. Do stay with us.
The entries have been received and the marking has begun. Who makes it to the next round of the Literacy Challenge 2025? Randomly selected entries will be read on 97.3 City FM on Brunch in the City and the Traffic Avenue, and on Breakfast Daily on Channel 1 TV. Stay tuned to 97.3 City FM and Channel 1 TV to find out who makes it to level 2 of the Literacy Challenge on Monday, 4th August 2025. Level 2 Aptitude Test. The top 50 contestants from across Ghana to make it to the next round shall take part in a written aptitude test on Saturday, 9th August 2025 at 12 noon at the British Council, Accra. Grand finale. The top 10 contestants chosen from level 2 shall compete for the grand prize of 10,000 Ghana cedis in a classic quiz competition on Friday, 15th August 2025. The Literacy Challenge 2025 is powered by City FM, supported by Channel 1 TV, and sponsored by Belmu and GB Assessment.
The Presec Old Boys Association proudly presents Conversations Under the Baobab Tree 2.0, an Odadie National Dialogue. This year, we tackle a topic that touches every Ghanaian towards a holistic approach to agriculture in Ghana. Join us on Wednesday, 30th of July at exactly 6 p.m. at the EcoBank Head Office Auditorium. Come hear from one of Ghana's most celebrated farmers, Odadie James Boateng, 2018 National Best Farmer, delivering the keynote address. Meet the speakers: Odadie Professor Felix Ankoma Asante, Pro-Vice Chancellor of Research at the University of Ghana; Beacon Sheila Cornelius, Managing Director of Cornelius Farms and CEO of Lawn Naturals; Odadie Dr. Ernest Esiedu, Agricultural Transformation Specialist at IITA; Odadie Kwame Asaria Mwakohene, Managing Director of CTA Engineering Ghana Limited; and Odadie Dr. Henry Enim Sumwa, Director of Operations, Agromite Limited. Let's rally together under the Baobab Tree and chart a new course for Ghana's agricultural future. Powered by Channel 1 TV and proudly brought to you in partnership with EcoBank. For more information, visit www.odadie.net. Illuminatu videbimus lumen. In thy light, we shall see light. The general public is warmly invited. See you there.
Wake up in the morning feeling super fine. Don't got no time, yeah. Turn it up, I'ma strut my stuff. You see me walking on the block, can't get enough. Like nobody's can touch me. They wanna be like me, but I got no time to get up, get up, get up. Now let's go. We gotta move on up. We gotta move on up. We gotta move on up. We gotta.
Play me for.
It's go time. We gotta move on up. We gotta move on up.
Call me.
We gotta move on up. We gotta move on up. Now let's go.
Beautiful.
Get up.
Wow.
Get up, let's go.
Daisy Cross Hoyland going for it. And towards goal. That's a superb finish.
When it's go time to supercharge your hustle, make it go time for GoTV.
Get up, now let's go.
Love it.
Welcome to the McLean Air Series. I am Joe McLean, your guide to the smoky, dusty, cloudy, choky side of life. Today we are visiting some places that pop with pollution. Let me mask up. Vehicle fumes have taken over the air, and soon this place will find it hard to breathe. According to the World Health Organization, as many as 28,000 people die every year in Ghana from air pollution. You live here, you breathe dirtier air than the whole of Accra. Look, let me show you. What an irony. No burning here. No one is truly safe. Even the posh areas are not spared from the smoke. Look, we can't ignore this. Do something. Call 057-972-4072 or send WhatsApp. You can also speak to your assembly so we all can breathe freely.
This message was brought to you by Infinity 970 with support from Breathe Cities.
Yeah, welcome back on the show. This is Breakfast Daily, and thank you for staying with us. Now we are coming to a community near you, so if you want to join us on the show, do send us a WhatsApp message on the WhatsApp number 020-444-7033. This morning, we are going to Kumasi. There's been a rising concern of the safety of the road, the Accra to Kumasi road. And if you're one who used the road often, you'd notice the rise in numbers of accidents and the death numbers and deaths we've recorded so far. Just last week or over the weekend, there was a whole bus of church people.
It's actually this week.
It was this week.
Just this week. I think 3 days ago.
Right.
Yeah, 3 days. So
Yes.
today is Wednesday. So Monday,
And
we had the news that 15 people had
because there was a head-on collision with a tanker, and 15 people died. Apparently, one person was taken to the hospital, and unfortunately, the person also passed. This is very disturbing, and this is not the only one that we received this year. There's been numerous reports.
A quick search on Google gives you a month ago there was a fatal crash on Accra Kumasi Highway, leaving several dead and dozens hospitalized. Then 22nd of April 2025, 11 dead in Gori accident on Amanase accident, in Gori Amanase accident on Accra Kumasi Highway. Then on 23rd May 2025, fortunately for the veteran actor Acrobat, he survived the road crash. Then on 12th of May 2025, on that same stretch, 3 died, 2 injured in truck accident at Achim Asafo. Then February 2025, this year, 2 perished in fatal crash on Kofrom or Oforikrom Road. What is really happening on the Accra Kumasi Highway?
Philip, it's very disturbing.
We have a report. There are 15 or the 16 that perished. Immediately 15 perished. Then there was an additional person who perished when he was sent to the hospital receiving treatment. And this church, the Savior Church, yes, it is a Savior Church. The church is planning to have mass burial. That is a Savior Church of Ghana. It's planning to have mass burial following the killing of their church members who were en route from a particular location to another on the Accra Kumasi Highway and died. Let's bring you this report after you have conversations on it.
Amidst wailing and grief, Equia Brasso sits among mourners and shares cherished memories of her 16-year-old son, Edmond Opoku, one of the victims of the tragic accident. The bus carrying members of the Savior Church of Ghana collided head-on with a fuel tanker along the Atwidia stretch. The group was returning to Obogu in the Asante Achim South municipality after attending the church's annual program in the eastern region. 15 of the victims died on the spot. 1 more passed away the following day, bringing the death toll to 16. 4 others remain on admission at the Joasu Government Hospital. In the wake of the tragedy, church leaders have begun coordinating plans for a mass burial of the deceased are currently at the morgue.
Bereaved families, and we all get together and find a particular date to engage a mass burial for their people.
But will you say all the families have been able to identify the bodies?
Yes, I went there with all the members of these affected families, and they were able to identify their people.
Frequent road crashes along the Kumasi-Accra Highway continue to raise concern. Key contributing factors include excessive speeding, dangerous overtaking, and the deteriorating condition of the road. The assembly member for the Atwidia electoral area has called for urgent measures to curb the increasing number of fatal accidents on the stretch.
We want the Ghana Highway Authority to at least come to Asante Achim Atwidia and Waterway stretch to come and see the possibilities and the measures that they can put in place so that we can at least minimize the frequent accidents.
The crash has thrown the Obogo community and the entire church into deep mourning, with devastated families grappling with the sudden loss of loved ones.
This latest incident is sparking fresh discussions on what the government and authorities should do to curb the numerous accidents on this highway. Hafiz Tijani, Channel 1 News, Atwidia, Ashanti region.
The question is, for how long will people keep dying on this road? What really is the problem? What can be the immediate solution? What is the state of the road? The education concerning motorists driving on the stretch, drivers. What is really happening? Because it's becoming one too many. The statistics for this year, we will pull it out shortly from the National Road Safety Authority and also from the Ghana Police Service, MTTD, concerning road crashes just this year, which is very alarming. But Hafiz Tijani is joining us via Zoom. But just to announce that you also be joining us, the viewer out there, tell us your experience on this road, how difficult it is for you traveling on the Accra-Kumasi Highway. What really you think that can be done to resolve the issue of the numerous accidents or road crashes on this road, which is resulting in the deaths of people dying. Hafiz, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Nilate.
I trust you are doing well.
I'm well. How are you too?
I'm doing good. Hafiz, when you visited the area where the incident happened, did the eyewitnesses or any individual narrate to you what really happened, which resulted in the accident?
Well, for now, you don't have a clear narration of what the or how the accident came about. But people are giving conflicting reports. But it was the cause of the accident was due to overspeeding and overtaking. Though the police is still conducting investigations into the real cause of the accident, they are still contacting the driver of the fuel tanker and also the other people who were also driving along the stretch when the incident happened. For now, people are giving conflicting stories as to how the accident happened. But police say they are not ruling out overtaking and overspeeding because previous accidents they have noted that previous accidents have been caused by some of these recklessness on the part of some of the drivers on the stretch. So they are still investigating the matter.
This Ashwidia area, describe to us from, is it after Nkoko, before Nkoko, JGT, Achim, etc.? Which area exactly is this space?
So when you are moving from Kumasi to Accra, it's after Joaso. Immediately after Joaso, the next town is the Atridia community.
Is it moving away from, say, Konongo? Is it far away from Konongo?
Yes, from Konongo. So no, not far from Konongo. So from Konongo, then you go to Joaso, then you go to Atridia. Before you get to Asankari. So when you are coming also from the Accra, or you are coming from Accra, so you get to Asankari before you get to Atridia, before you get to Joasu, before you get to Konongo. So that is where Atridia is located on the highway.
Wow. And this is after you've crossed, say, in Koko, so it's like halfway through the journey from Accra to Kumasi, more than half. It's a single,
yes, more than half of the journey.
So it's a single carriage road, right?
Yes, it's single. It's single, and it has sharp curves within that area. You have some sharp curve there. Then from the community getting to the Joasu community, you also have a sharp curve at that point. So, and there's a place called Waterworks, where there's a bridge there. That was where the accident happened. And in previous years, the accident is also happening either within the Atridia community or this particular section where the accident happened, and it is raising a lot of concerns within the area.
Before Jifa comes in, Hafiz, I want to find out from you. You said it has a number of sharp curves. When you visited the place, did you see road signs indicating that this is a sharp curve and people or drivers must be careful when they are applying the stretch?
No, you don't see road signs on this stretch. You don't see road signs on this stretch. there are no road signs on this stretch directing drivers as to how to move when they get to this section of the highway.
Hafiz, what's the nature of the road around where the accident happened? What's the nature of the road? Is it in a good state?
I would say it's very terrible because in 2024, we embarked on a special report. We did a special report on the highway, seeing that in 2024, there were a number of road crashes on the road. So from 2023 to 2024, we experienced a number of road crashes on the Kumasi-Accra highway. So we took it upon ourselves as a media house to at least add the voice to the advocacy. So we spoke to a number of stakeholders on the highway, and these were the concerns. The Kumasi-Accra highway keeps deteriorating. So this section in particular, let me answer your question before I give further information. So this section in particular, the potholes we met during the 2024 report and what we saw yesterday is totally different. And you see that the potholes have expanded into gaping potholes, and it's not noticeable for first-time drivers who are driving on this road. Sometimes they will have to bump into the potholes before realizing that there's a pothole there, and that will not even stop the drivers from overspeeding on this part of the road. So the place is a bit secluded. Apart from the Atridia community where drivers had to slow down, this place is a bit secluded. So it's an intersection between the Atridia community and the Joaso community. So when you are approaching the Joaso community, because the drivers know that they are approaching the main town, they slow down. But from the Joaso community to the Waterworks area into the Atridia community, the drivers are just overspeeding and overtaking on that stretch. So when we did the report, we spoke to hospital officials. So the Joaso Government Hospital is the nearest government facility or hospital within the enclave whenever there's an accident, either at Konongu or the Atride or the Asankari stretch of the highway. The Joaso Hospital has been the first port of call where the emergency service personnel will transport injured victims to the place. And we have other morgues, private morgues in that area. So when the accident involved deaths, that is when the hospital officials will advise that these bodies should be taken to
Okay, so we are still engaging Hafiz, the technical challenge. That's fine. We'll still put him back on, but we have is it Patrick Entry, who is the assembly member of the area, I think. Let's see who we have online. Hello, sir. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
I trust you're doing well.
My God's grace.
Your name, sir?
Pardon?
Your name?
I'm Pressure Johnny Mwate.
And you are?
I'm with National Rhetoric Authority, National Rhetoric.
Okay, good. First of all, I want to find out from you, when this came to your attention, the accident, what has been the report you've gotten from whatever happened on the grounds as an authority?
Oh, I also got to know about it around 2:50 p.m. on 28 July. So as what has been circulating, initially 15 people were pronounced dead on arrival at there's a hospital called Atiape called Stewart. So they took their bodies to the Stewart Hospital, and 5 others were critically injured. Then I think the following morning, an additional person also passed on. So I think 16, but we are hearing 17. An additional death, so I'll need to confirm that.
Okay, but have you visited the place yourself where the incident happened?
He's in there.
And per what you observed as an authority, as the Ashanti Regional Road Safety Authority Director, the nature of the road, what really can be done to curb the number of accidents or road crashes that we are reporting or witnessing on that particular side of the road?
Yes, the road definitely will plays an important role in crashes. So we need to have some engineering measures, such as when you are descending, we need rambo strips, we need warning signages at the waterworks section. Then also we need a lot of, we need to increase professional driver training. Very, very important, especially for AGV users, heavy goods vehicle users also. So we need to segregate that cohort or that group because they also use that route very often.
Right. Mr. Ejenim Boateng, our reporter on the ground, that's Hafiz Tijani, made us understand that on his journey to the location where the accident occurred, he noticed that there are lots of sharp turns on the road. But there were no signs, there were no road signs to warn drivers beforehand upon getting onto the road to let them know that indeed you're actually approaching a turn. And also over the period or over the last couple of months, there's been lots of road accidents happening on the Accra-Kumasi stretch. Now, as an authority in the area or as an authority with the Road Safety Commission, you would be able to tell us the numbers, but from what we gather, it's very alarming. What measures are you going to put in place to see that the numbers are reduced? Because this is a very, very disturbing issue. To think that we've lost over 16 people now in an accident on just a day or in an instance is very, very disturbing.
So thank you very much. As I said earlier, you know, if you look at the data, as you rightly said, Ashanti region is also becoming, in fact, a black spot in the country. So basically, we need to look at the road infrastructure. Fortunately, His Excellency the President has also put in place measures to also address that issue. Then also, we need to do a lot of enforcement. The enforcement is very critical because after any crash, if you look at the severity of the injuries and also the vehicles, you realize that speeding plays a very important role in road traffic incidents or crashes along the stretch. So we need to do a lot of enforcement sensitization, which is paramount. So if you take a look at that stretch, especially at night, there are issues. So there will be a lot of road infrastructure measures. Firstly, if you look at the road traffic regulations, you have to install a speed limiter in commercial vehicles. We believe that will also help in reducing speed involving commercial vehicles. After that, we do a lot of training for commercial drivers. Now we have to regulate commercial drivers in this country. So we believe through that measure, we'll be able to lump them together and do periodic training for them, which we believe will also help. And taking enforcement out of the equation will amount to nothing. So identified hotspots or black spots along the stretch, we need to meet with the police to make sure maybe their presence along that stretch. Fortunately, it's also they've been giving speed cameras, speed enforcement cameras to also help in that light.
Now, in your statement, you keep saying we need to do this, we need to do that. Is it that the safety or the issues of road accidents having been a bit alarming to your office, that is why any measures have not been taken about it? Or what exactly is the problem? And I would also like to know, how often do we assess the nature of our roads to even maintain them?
The road traffic system is mixed. So with the enforcement issue, we talk to the police. So police entities, they are supposed to do that collaboratively with them. So as I said, it's being done, but we need to speed it up or shore it up or increase the police presence along those steps, basically. Then after enforcement, we need to do the sensitization or education of commercial drivers in the country. As for road maintenance, it's being done by the road agency. But once in a while, we do what we call road safety audits in collaboration with the road agency to identify black spots or emerging black spots where treatments are being done. So along that stretch, yes, definitely there are issues of inadequate signage, which has been forwarded to the respective road agencies to act upon them. So my job is to ensure that they are doing it or they are working.
Wow. So we know this incident happened on Monday. Yesterday, the death toll increased by 1, making it 16. And now you are saying that it's 17, but you need to confirm. Has the authority, you said the authority has visited the place yet, but the question I want to find out, or what I want to find out from you is, what is the immediate measure you are taking to ensure that this problem is resolved, especially at that side of the Accra to Kumasi highway? And also the road signs, is it under your mandate to put up road signs along this road?
Certainly the immediate measure relates to the road agency. Normally that is to be under Ghana Highway Authority. So we liaise with them for them to install the signages and other speed calming measures, like the ramble strips along that section of the road. Then also we need to ensure we liaise with the police to also increase presence along that stretch. But the problem is, the police cannot be there at night and dawn around 1 p.m., 2 p.m. So these speed calming measures. Then also the training of these commercial drivers to install behavioral changes in them also help. The road transport system has not been used to regulation. If you take a look at the other transport systems like air, maritime, and other modes, they all have regulators. Until very recently, that road transport system had a regulator, which is National Road Safety Authority. So when we came on board, we have we have designed certain methods for them to employ. Firstly, we have the NRSA Act, which confirms that firearms. Then we have the LI 246, which is going to operationalize that. So if you look at the LI 246, you have measures in it, measures such as training of commercial drivers, mandatory training. Then also, now, if you don't belong to any commercial industrial association, you cannot operate commercial transport in the country. So with that, we believe we'll be able to manage the system and take out those who don't belong to unions or transport, any other transport company organization in the country. So with that, we'll be able to have a complete control over the system. We'll be able to see the exact numbers, those who are causing problems. Now there's a proposal. Those who are causing problems, we'll be able to take them out of the transport system or industry, subject them to extensive or rigorous remedial training system. If you persistently violate, we take you out of it perpetually or permanently. So with that, we'll be able to stem down, reduce the incidence of fatalities in the country. You get it? In the road transport system, it's used to people doing whatever they want in it. So now we are now keeping them in line, which takes a lot of effort. Right now, we made them understand the need to cooperate. So with that, we believe that we are making inroads there. Then also, I mentioned about the engineering measures. Yes, along certain sections of the road, not even Accra Kumasi, there are lots of areas that need to be taken care of. Or we need remedial activities there, which is being done. The new act enjoins us to have conduct what we call a road safety audit. There's a group which moves along certain sections of the road to find out new problems or emerging problems. Then we offer immediate solutions to what has happened right now. The road agencies will be there to install these signages. But another problem is, after some of these signages are installed, these same drivers will knock them off. We don't even see them. So we need to be tracing the broken down ones the broken down signages along the route to also reinstall them again. So that's also another issue we are battling with. So generally, if we install the signages along those sections, rigorous training and also adequate enforcement, we believe the country will progress along that area.
Well, Mr. Jenny Mbwati, I think we should be fast about it, because checking the data from your outfit, distribution of crashes by regions in June 2025, June 2024 compared. In the various regions, the Ashanti region in June 2025, that is this year, has recorded 360 crashes as compared to last year, that is 336 crashes. The percentage change is 7.14 increment. When you come to the injuries, same Ashanti region has recorded 456 in this year as compared to last year 362. There is also another increase there, 25.97% increase. The deaths that have been recorded just this year in the Ashanti region, or let's say within the Ashanti region, is June 2025 recorded 60 deaths, and 2024 recorded 41. Does it mean that there is a problem that is not being solved, that is resulting in these crashes that we are recording? Because it looks like the Ashanti region is taking the lead.
If you look at, yes, there are issues. You have a rising crash severity in the region. If you take look at the whole national outfit. In Ashanti region, you have vehicle mix motorcycle involvement. Yeah, if you take a look at Kumasi area like this, you are having issues of pedestrian knockdown. So with the pedestrian knockdown, you are not going to experience mass fatalities, but individual fatalities. So we did a lot of sensitization enforcement. If you take a look like along the Sopo line stretch, you find people crossing the road anyhow. So we engage them. We engage the assembly. We engage the police. We came to a conclusion. We are supposed to start the whole stretch to prevent people from crossing. That's what we call an underpass. An underpass has been provided for pedestrians to use the underpass. If you use the underpass, we believe there will not be, we will have minimum interaction between the pedestrian and vehicles, which we are finding it difficult to, pedestrians are giving various reasons to comply. So we brought police to enforce that. And when you come into the reaction. So we need to step up the enforcement. And you know, with enforcement, there's a lot of exceptions. But should we allow people to die? We tell them. So right now they are getting it. They are accepting it gradually, and we find usage increasing. You get it. When you go to along the KNUST stretch like this, there's a food gauge has been provided. We bring police to enforce, but you still find people trying not to use the food gauge. You get it. So we realize that there's an issue of attitudinal things. So with that, we are having a lot of sensitization education for them to understand the need to use these food gauges. Then also, the duty bearers are also doing their own. So we have identified a lot of behavioral problems among our citizens. So it's something that we are working on it, and gradually most people are buying into that. So when you go to that place, you find a lot of policemen there trying to also help in that area. When you move from Greater Kumasi to Konongo down, Obuasi area, we have a lot of rural communities. What do we identify? We realize there's a lot of speeding. Speeding accounts for over 60% of crashes. Any class where we have a lot of fatalities, or in terms of vehicles being destroyed beyond repairs, we can attribute that to speeding. So with speeding issue, as I said earlier, let's look at the road traffic regulations. It enjoins authority and DGLA to install what we call speed limiters or speed governors in vehicles with a tonnage of 3.5 and above. So when these speed governors are installed, we set it to I think 80 kilometers per hour. So you can, if you're a passenger commercial vehicle carrying more than 15 persons, you cannot go more than 80 kilometers and above. We believe that thing will also help reduce the speed problems we are encountering along the stretch. Then the usual education, which is always ongoing, we believe was social. So once in a while we do snap enforcement along certain accident-prone areas. Then together with the road agencies, we identify black spots and emerging black spots to proper treatment measures along these sections. So we believe if that is sustained, it will help in coming down the tide of crashes.
Kwesi Jenny Boatin, thanks so much for your time. We are grateful that you joined us to have conversations on this issue that is happening on the Accra-Kumasi Highway. But just before we go and also take calls on this issue, you out there watching, your experience on the Accra-Kumasi Highway. Ghana just this year has recorded 7,289 road crashes and 1,504 deaths between January and June.
July.
Yes, June. We've not added what happened in the month of July to it.
Yeah.
And according to provisional statistics released by the National Road Safety Authority in collaboration with the Police, Motor Traffic and Transport Department, the report also revealed that 12,354 vehicles were involved in various accidents during the 6-month period, with 8,300 people sustaining injuries. So let's take the deaths aside. The injuries, people battling with their lives in the various hospitals. Somebody's leg has to be amputated. The person can't walk again. The person's arm. The person who is a breadwinner or somebody's daughter, son, whatever it is, battling in the hospital. In addition, 1,301 pedestrians were reported to have been knocked down across the country. The National Road Safety Authority further highlighted the daily toll of road traffic incident in Ghana, noting that on average, 8 lives are lost each day due to road crashes. 40 road crashes occur nationwide daily, and also 46 people are injured daily in these accidents, and 69 vehicle and motorcycles are involved in road crashes every day. Well, what we can say here is, if you are driving on the road, don't see it like it's a TV game. It's not Need for Speed. Neither is it Fast and Furious, that you want to speed, overtake, and you think that, yeah, my car is faster than someone's car. Let it be at the back.
I'm a more experienced driver than someone.
Let it be at the back of your mind that you are carrying lives in the car. You are having lives in the vehicle. You just don't move the vehicle. When you sit behind the steering wheel, you become sort of, your life, it's in your own hands. Aside that, other people's lives are also in your hands as the driver.
You know,
and people driving on the road should just be careful, because see, if we are waiting for the roads ministry to make the roads better, let's have dual carriage way, which for years we've always been hearing.
The conversation
it's not
has
even
been
happening.
on, yeah.
Look at Ofanko and Sawam Highway. We've been talking about this road for a very long time, and nothing is happening on the road as we speak now. People are still battling with the issue of the bad road that is there right now. Talk less of this Ashwidia place or moving to another place. Maybe when you are driving on the Suhum side, that one is okay because it's a dual carriageway. When you move to the Nkoko side, it's also a dual carriageway. But after these places, they are single carriage roads, and you would want to be bypassing people. You'd want to be driving recklessly on the road, and all those things. It's people's lives you are carrying.
Philip, I don't know. Sometimes I don't even understand some of the commercial vehicle drivers, because it's disturbing. They do things, or they drive just anyhow, haphazardly, all with the mentality of, I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Let me just make a quick turn and come back for the other set of people.
And even this time around, it's even with the private vehicle drivers.
Yes.
People who have private cars, their
They'll
salon
be
cars.
racing on the road.
I have
each
a Benz,
other.
I'm driving.
Yes.
I have a Corolla, I'm driving.
Then when
I have
someone
Honda
passes by
Accord.
them, it becomes
you're having
something
people's
else.
lives. For instance, if someone is driving speed, going at very top speed, and I see that the person wants to race with me, I reduce my speed.
Exactly.
Because as I sit here, I've been a victim, or I've witnessed accident before. I've been in that situation before, and I wouldn't want to be in it again, because it's scary. It's between life and death. You choose one. Whether you are dying peacefully, or you die anyhow you want to die, or you risk your life and later you are now going to, your leg will be amputated, or you can't even live. buying the vehicle.
Beyond that, the emotional trauma, sometimes you live with forever back pains and some parts of your bodies. I mean, it's dangerous.
We
and
understand
the
we still
numbers are
have
very, very alarming.
Hafiz on the line to just wrap up. After that, we open the phone line 0302-784-969. 0302-784-969. Please put your thoughts together so that you can call us and let's have discussions on this. Hafiz, before you go, it looks like the National Road Safety Authority director keeps saying that we need to together. How does it look like? Does it look like the place is becoming a death trap every now and then? And as the reporter there, what can you say more about this?
Some people are even sparking that conversation on social media, alerting authorities that they should declare the Kumasi-Accra Highway a national emergency because of the number of accidents being recorded on the highway or on the stretch. So for the National Road Safety Authority, more is enforcement and education, but sometimes you don't have the other agencies also coming in to at least ensure that the right things are done. So you have the overspeeding and the nature of roads. So the Ghana Highway Authority is supposed to ensure that the engineering of the road is done. But when you speak to some of the officials, like the National Road Safety, they'll tell you that they have also been working closely with the Ghana Highway Authority, though they have been giving them the reports about the nature of the road, but nothing is being done on the roads in terms of the upgrade of the road. And we know about the Konongo bypass project, which was going to be a huge relief for motorists within this stretch. So motorists wouldn't have been using this stretch again if the bypass was operational, and that project also has stalled. We don't know what the current government is doing about this project, but it has to do with compensation that they have to pay to the farmers. Now, the farmers have stopped the contractors from work. They have told them that they cannot come to the site until the government settles all the compensation, all the farms that were destroyed for the road to be done. If the government fails to settle the monies for the farmers or the affected farmers, they are not going to allow them. So the bypass project for many is going to ease the pressure on this.
Okay. I think that's okay. That's okay. That's okay for Hafiz, because you've spoken about the bypass project and whatever the government needs to do to also get the issue resolved. We as drivers, we have to be careful.
Exactly.
The National Road Safety Authority has to do its education. The MTTD has to do the implementation of the laws. When it comes to the Transport Ministry, make sure that you are monitoring well to see the kind of vehicles we are using on our roads.
Whether they're roadworthy or not.
And also the Roads and Highways Ministry, do your work. If you see that, that's why I like the former minister, Terminator. He will terminate the contract and we award it. Agboja is also trying to do the same. He has given his stand warning. If you're a contractor, you're not doing the work well, you are going to go. But recently, he said that you are owing them. You said you are going to release 4 billion Ghana cedis. We are waiting to see how that money is also going to be issued out to these contractors to go back on the road and work. And what Hafiz said, he also spoke about compensation, that the farmers are blocking, that they need to be compensated because we need a number of routes to Kumasi. Not only one. I was asking Hafiz that other than the Accra-Kumasi Highway, is there another? And he said there is another one through Central Region, but that one you would have to pay like twice the amount, or you have to buy extra fuel and go through that stretch.
Of the nature of the road.
Yes.
Well, but Philip, as we are having this conversation, we are calling the duty bearers to play their part, to do their side of the bargain. But the onus lies on us as individuals as well as drivers who are applying the road. If the roads are state of the art, they are in the best shape possible. We can even have 8, 10, 12 carriage road, and the reckless driving
will still be there.
It doesn't
so
stop.
It comes down to the
We will
MTTB
still
to
experience
enforce.
accidents.
Yes.
We will still experience some of these road crashes and all of that. So I think that it has to do more with an attitudinal thing than what's the name, the government enforcing its policies. Even though I agree that we need to do that, it's an all-round thing. We have a caller.
Change is needed.
We have a caller on the phone. Hi, good morning. We lost the caller.
So
if
you
can
can
hear us,
still
please
join
call
us.
us back.
Yes, you can still
meanwhile,
join us.
we have a message coming in from Joshua from Mataiko. Joshua says, I'm glued to my screen watching you guys today, and I want to say wholeheartedly that some Ghanaian drivers are driving school dropouts because the type of insane driving you see on the road or on that stretch of the road is deeply concerning. My father told me he used that road last week and something told him to go deeper into his own lane. As soon as he did that, he heard a noise like a car just passed, only to realize a commercial bus sped past him without any headlights on. God punish all those drivers, especially anyway. Well, Joshua says that the road is also in a very deplorable state. But again, if we have such a road, such a journey, and we don't have street lights on the road, even for night drivers to be able to see what lies ahead of them. For first-time drivers who are going to be plying the road, they did not know whether there's a ditch or some sort of a pothole ahead of them. They just drive with a certain speed and fall inside. Anyway, we have another caller on the line. Hi, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Your name and where you're calling us from?
I'm calling from East Legon. I am Atta.
All right, Atta, share with us. Have you used the Accra-Kumasi stretch in recent times?
Yes, I'm using it all the time to even Sandima.
Okay, are you a driver? Are you a commercial driver?
Yeah, I'm a commercial driver.
Share with us your experience. What's the nature of the route? And do you ply it at night?
Yeah, as for the road, it's very, very bad and it's very risky, especially of the night. But the main problem is the police. You see, if we are going, you make the budget for the police. And you start paying from let's say Achimota here up to when you are going, after even past Kumasi. My suggestion is, if the police they are doing their work, the accidents will minimize on the road. So my suggestion again is, if like the passengers in the car, they can take, if the policeman is taking the money, they can take their pictures and then they'll video them. And they'll give it to different, not the police, different, other different society, different companies to probe them. I think it will help the accidents to minimum. Because if I'm going like this, I make budget. Everywhere you reach, other 20 cities, 50 cities, it depends. Even over speeding, if they stop you, they just take money from you and then you continue going. So all I think that is not good it's not good for us.
And do the police tell you why they take the money?
Because even if your papers are correct, they'll take the money from you. You have everything, they'll check everything, they'll take money from you. So the passengers in the car, if there is another company who will be, like if you take the video you send to them and they'll help to that particular police on the road, they'll take them out from the road. I think it will help the drivers and it will help the accident to minimize on the road.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time. And he is raising concerns with what the police has been doing on the stretch concerning the amount of money that they take from where we say it is going to be an illegal collection of money from the drivers, because he stated that even if the papers are okay, they'll still go ahead and take money from them. But you can join us again, 0302 784 969. We are talking about the Accra Kumasi Highway.
You can also send us a message to a WhatsApp message if the phone lines are not going through. The WhatsApp number is 020-444-7033. Philip, we have a message coming in from William from Oyibi. William says, that road is a death trap and it almost claimed my life. My car skidded off the road driving on it one night last month, and it's only because of God that I am still alive right now. I woke up in the hospital because, according to witnesses, my car flung off the road and I landed in a ditch after a pothole digged me in. I don't know what it will take for duty bearers to deal with the road, but it is too urgent to play with.
Yeah. Charity from Medina is joining us. Charity, good morning.
Good morning, please.
I trust you're doing well.
Hello?
I trust you're doing well.
Yeah, I'm doing well.
Let's hear from you.
But I can't speak the English.
So what language do you want to speak?
Chi.
Go ahead.
Okay. Me pacho etino kuma say accident no. Kwan na omo enye no so ka ho lemom no Davet no say omo ko some ko license eya omo ma psychiatric personnel and show ma dwumu function because the brain na adwene en say on negative overtaking and omo ye e wo kwan no so say wo ti kam na say driver no ye overtake na say wo ko ka kwa no mu didi watam entino say driver na overtake on say dem and I go for ma say na mama e school service no so say e me ya bebre am pay makuma nyina e ya me ya oh entino say omo ko license omo hwe ta de no fa and na police for no so no say driver no nam kwan no so a e wo so mo check omo nyama bebre omo ja kwan say sika ma mo chi say wo nyama ya fine to say dem kwa omo ji usta entino omo government no e ma nani enko police for no any driver no so bebre let's demo kaka police for so man check it car so you are car on site bi e wo so mo check it anu mo nyina no jana ka no kwa no jika entino omo hwe omo sa tani mo na omo ye okwa no so no omo fa ya fe ni hu tara mi senka ko empini fo e monitor mo wo be jika bia no nso nyen di wodi e wo police no
na Charity o tai fa sa kwa no so
ai me fi brekum me ta fa so anytime bia but me ta fa kwa so ko e come chrome
okay Charity, that's it. Okay. Charity there, you want to explain to the
well, Charity says that she's of the view that when the drivers are going to take their licenses or going through the driving license to acquire one, she's of the strong view that they should have some sort of mental evaluation and see a psychiatrist probably, because she thinks some of them are just losing it. Because when you are in a commercial vehicle and the driver is making a wrong turn, over speeding, or even trying to overtake wrongfully, and you as a passenger sees that what this driver is doing is dangerous, and you try to prompt them, then the other passengers are insulting you, or even the driver himself gets angry at you and throws all sorts of words at you. She expressed her displeasure on plying the road and the fear that grips her every time she uses the road.
It's very scary driving on that road. Robert from Accra, good morning.
I'm on it, sir.
I trust you're doing well.
Yeah, but me a driver, me a commercial driver.
Okay.
But the person I can work, Ghana, Quano, what you call it, problem, no. Some person can. Quano, send a car say. Na apaki wo ka kwanin finfin ana kwanin chen enye won mi e driver no mi ka free has e call Liberia Freetown odu Africa se wo ka se wo kwansa wa na obe frɛ ye first sa company from some battery car no free kwano so and this is wo what they call it motor road no wo yem bia nsi wo se ka be se wo nim ana ka be park wo nim and not to be baba no and the very say ubeti say accident get be happy war abicos and imagine say ye DBR if me fast as any be emma Ghana na say can it say ya you were 2 cars company can it say ya no what from no more about 3 cars Africa no so and the driver bia eco highway Kumase kwano eja highway Kumase kwan is a highway and ye kwan ye beka say eye truck kwan ya na ana say no, it's a highway. And the BB highways, no. I say, say, a speed coin. A take one never passo. I must ask them to never to me a castle. And I am imagine say, 2 cars, no. Yes, it says our company, no. Emma Omo no bet no be available. Even at the great town, feel low, who cannot say, eto from Omo wa yard kesi ewo ombe chuka no ekoko patuo. Uba be ye wi a what yaka. No afa oka ko. Na chese kwanso betumi eye free maye. But say to me nya ni sa. Na chese kwanu potu say no. One e be
Okay. Yeah, that's Robert. Yeah, that's it. So what he's saying is that the authorities should be up and doing when it comes to vehicles getting sport on the road, especially long tracks or heavy-duty vehicles. A number of them get sport along the road, and they are left unattended to in the middle of the road. No road sign, nothing, no indication. To tell that a vehicle is sport ahead of you, and you are just driving at the normal speed just to find yourself that your vehicle just gets under the long track or the heavy duty vehicle, and you die.
Philip, guess what? The other day on my way home from the office, you know the Jowolu Junction stretch, there was a broken down truck on the side of the road, and there was no warning sign. Instead, the person used stones, about 3 or 4 stones, to notify drivers or oncoming vehicles that indeed there's a breaking down vehicle ahead of you. How am I supposed to read stones
and it's
lined
late
up?
in the evening?
Yes, in the evening. Well, you know, the stretch 2 doesn't have street lights.
I was about saying that because the stones do not have lights in them.
Exactly.
They do not have lights in them. Or the driver found a way to put a light in the stone.
No, not at all.
Oh, we should be serious in this country.
So if you're not careful enough, you just, with a certain level of speed, just bump into it.
You're dead.
And that's it.
Anyway, you can still join us with your
We still have some messages coming in though. This one from Kweku from Tessano. Kweku says, in as much as we talk about the Accra Kumasi stretch, the 13 curves onto the central is very dangerous. I'm in the transport sector, and one of my buses was involved in an accident just last week. The indiscipline is too much. From checks, it was a Sprinter bus that caused it. There's another one also coming from Manette, which Samuel says, the big trucks that ply the road drive anyhow. They overtake anyhow, and because they drive big trucks, they don't care about other road users or other smaller cars. They pose threats and panic on the Accra Kumasi highway.
And see, the fact that you've driven on the road for a very long time doesn't mean that you are
a road master.
Exactly, or you are conversant with the road. You know where the potholes are, because in this country we know that we drive not by sight but by memory. Yes, if you've driven on the road for a very long time, you have to keep all the road signs in your mind, and also the number of potholes on the road, the speed ramps and all that in your mind, so that when you're driving it's going to be easy for you. But if you've driven on the road for a very long time, it doesn't make you sort of like a master. You just have to be careful, because there may be someone who is driving on the road for that very first time. The person doesn't know the road that well, that I can do overtaking here, or I can speed here, or I can do this. Then the little mistake you do as a driver will cause the life of another. Because see, what happened, we are yet to get the reports from the road safety or from MTTD as to what really happened at Ashwedia or Ashwedia. What we know is that it's between a Toyota vehicle, is it a Toyota vehicle which they call Fish or something, and a tanker. You understand? And from what Hafiz said, it looks like the fuel tanker driver is alive, because they are yet to find out more details from him. But you've now perished the lives of 16 people. It's not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. 16. And this same 16 people, I keep saying that, see, some might be breadwinners, because mind you, they are from a church event coming home. Some might be breadwinners, and even if they are not breadwinners, they are loved ones of people in this country. Maybe it's not really clicking in our minds, because see, if the authorities are up and doing, you shouldn't be saying we are. No, it has to be done now. if the authorities are sitting down and have to do the issue, they have to solve it now. See, when not everybody would get the chance and buy a plane ticket and say, I'm flying
not
to
everyone
Kumasi.
can actually afford it.
Exactly. And the few people would depend on vehicle, via road. And even our railway system is equally not working. So someone will say, did we go or did we come? It's sad. See, this conversation wouldn't stop here. What we want is that something has to be done about it. And it has to be done about it immediately. Because that is sort of a very busy road. Every now and then people are applying on that stretch. And it connects two big cities, if you do not know. After Accra, it's Kumasi. We are going for a commercial break. When we come back, we'll bring you more on the show.
In a world filled with challenges, we all need guidance, hope, and a lifeline to anchor us.
This is Lifeline, and I'm your host, Fred Crunchy Mensa.
From social issues, relationship challenges, and family matters, Lifeline is here to inspire, uplift, and guide you on your journey.
Where we give you support, where we hold your hand through the valley and through the thick and thins of life.
Join Bishop Fred Crunchy Mensa.
I welcome you especially to Lifeline.
Every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 p.m. right here on Channel 1 TV. Let's walk this path together, strengthen our faith, our families, and our lives. Lifeline, because every soul deserves a guiding light. Tune in to Lifeline on Channel 1 TV and let's grow together.
Welcome. It's Play to Aid.
Get ready for the game show where every play has a purpose. Welcome to Play to Aid, the only game show where your knowledge and skill don't just win you prizes, they help change lives.
What sport is considered the most popular in the world?
Every point you earn goes toward real-world support, from school supplies to health kits, clean water to emergency relief. Play smart, play big, play to aid. Catch all the action, the drama, and the heat.
Most commonly spoken language in Brazil.
Portuguese.
Play to Aid every Sunday at 3:30 p.m. only on Channel 1 TV.
Edna, let's begin.
The Play to Aid game show is proudly sponsored by Tang Palace, Giraffe Island, and VVIP.
All over the world, or all over the country, Ghana, the call to end domestic violence or gender-based violence continues to grow louder. Now, in line with this, the Domestic Violence and Victim Support Unit, DOVSU, has launched a campaign which they term 30 Days of Activism Against Gender-Based Violence. This morning, we've been joined in the studio by ACP Ms. Owusua Chireme, who is a director at DOVSU, to throw more light on this campaign and what the role they are playing in ending gender-based violence in Ghana. Ms. Owusua Chireme, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. You look lovely, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And you looking amazing as well.
Thank you. Now let's get into the conversation. Why is this campaign even important? Then we come back to talk more about domestic violence and what the numbers are looking like.
Thank you very much. So the campaign title for this year is Break the Silence, 30 Days of Activism Against Gender-Based Violence. And the theme is From Silence to Strength, Speak Up, Stand Up, Support. It is very important because we realize that to combat gender-based violence, it's not about just law law enforcement. It's not about enforcing the law. It's also about awareness creation. We don't have to wait for the crime to be committed before we step in. We also need to prevent the crime from happening. And we realize that even though there are years that you have the data low, there are years that it also goes high. The number is still very high. For instance, this year, last year, 2024, we recorded about 14,000, little over 14,000 cases. And so we realize that there is a need for people awareness to be created. And there are lots of crime, especially the cyber online crime, nude pictures going on. And so there's a need to sensitize our young ones to protect them from being vulnerable to these crimes.
Now, what are some of the violence recorded recently? What are some of them?
All of them. I mean, we record threats, we record defilement, threats of harm, threats of death, non-maintenance. We also record defilement cases, rape cases, and causing harm, causing damage. These are some of the cases that we report. And in fact, if you look at our first 10 cases that we record for mostly, you realize that defilement is on number 9.
Wow.
Yes, number 9, and then we have assaults being the leading cases that we receive, followed by non-maintenance, fathers, mostly fathers. We have some mothers who also don't take care of their children, but mostly mothers do not take care of their fathers, so they report. The third most reported cases at DOFSU is threat of harm, and then followed by threat of death. The fifth one is causing unlawful damage. Stealing is the sixth. Offensive conduct, then physical abuse. The physical abuse is different from the assault. And then number 9 is defilement and child stealing.
Now, explain. What do you mean by the physical abuse is different from the assault? How different are they? What's the difference?
Okay, so the assault would, in layman's language, is me beating you, hitting you, would amount to assault. But the physical abuse is mostly under the Domestic Violence Act. So the assault falls under the Criminal Offences Act, 1960 Act 29, and then the physical abuse falls under the Domestic Violence Act 2007 at 732. So what physical abuse means is if you are staying with somebody and you don't give the person enough rest, you don't give the person enough food, you don't provide enough clothing for the person to wear, yes, and then you confine an individual to a space, you don't want the person to move, they all constitute domestic violence. So you can't be taken to court for not allowing somebody enough rest.
Wow.
Yes.
This is enlightening, actually.
Thank you.
I didn't know about this.
Exactly.
Enough rest, enough food.
Yes, and then enough clothing.
Whoa.
So if, for example, you know, these days in an era where we are used to employing helps and all of that to live with us.
They are the most...
Yes, and then they undergo this sort of treatment. They can actually walk to any office and report their caregivers.
Yes, they can. In fact, you know, most of the time, these house helps wake up early in the morning like dawn, 4 a.m., and they won't rest. They work throughout the day, do everything, eat very little food, and be the last to sleep. Yes, it's an abuse.
Now, in a typical situation where you have such reports, how do you handle them?
So what we do is that we look for evidence, and if there's evidence to back what we have, and then we proceed to court.
Wow.
Yes.
So in this case, do you have a lot of the victims coming in to report, or maybe a neighbor would come and report a whistleblower?
Oh yes, we do have cases. We do have people. We have a helpline 055-1900, which is our WhatsApp. So normally people will send WhatsApp to us. We have a toll-free number which is 0800-000-900. 0800-000. That's 900. So what happens is that people send us informants on our WhatsApp numbers to say, okay, I live in this area. I've seen A, B, C, D. We ask for further questions. They give us, we go in. And we go in and nobody knows that it's coming from you.
I've seen this instance where you would go in and the victim that the informant has reported, the victim denies.
Oh yes, in fact recently we had one. So somebody WhatsApp us and said and there's a child here, blah, 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 blah is going on. And so we deployed a team to go. And she said,
nothing is happening.
So in this case, was it the child that denied or the...
The child is the one, the victim is the one denying.
So what do you do when you see that?
Like that?
What we do, it's with this case, it's a very tricky one because it's not something you can see in the open. So we only monitor. You can't see. It's about sex, you know, and an older person engage in sex with a minor, and the person says
it's not true.
It's not true. There's nothing like that. How are you going to continue?
It makes your work difficult.
It makes our work difficult sometimes. So now we are back to the drawing table to find ways and means that we can find evidence. And even that when you find evidence and the person comes back and says, it's not him. Yeah. It's even harder if the person is 16 years and it's rape. You know, the father comes in to report rape and the child comes to her and says, that's my boyfriend. And then there's nothing you can do.
Nothing can be done.
Yes. Unfortunately. So we always educate the general public that even though the law says that at 16 years you can give consent to sex, we always discourage 16-year-old people in school. We discourage you from engaging in sexual activities because it can lead to pregnancy, unwanted pregnancy. It can impede your education, your dream, and so many things. Not to talk about the sexually transmitted infections that you might have. So we always, even though the law says, and maybe as a nation, we also have to look at the law because if at the age 18 you can marry, but of course with consent from your parents. So if you are a child under between 18 and under 21, you want to marry, you need a consent of your parents before you can marry. But at 21 you can marry. So if the marriage age is 18 years, why then do we give consent? The law says 16 years. 16. Exactly. So it's one of the areas that we need to focus on and amend the law accordingly.
And before you come in, you've spoken a lot about girl child, sort of from what I'm picking. Does it affect the boy child as well?
Yes. So the boy child is protected if the child is below 16 years in terms of actual penetration. So under Ghana law, a man cannot be raped. Yes.
But a man can be what? If a man cannot be raped, so a man
can rape.
A man can rape.
Can rape a man, but a man cannot be raped.
So
how? So a woman can report rape against. So Jifa can report rape against.
But I can't report.
No. I mean, your best bet will be indecent assault. Maybe she tried to touch you. Well, that's what the law is.
Wow.
That's the law. So, but if you are a boy below age 16, that one the law protects you.
Okay.
So,
but hold on. At below age 16 can be raped. Or
defilement.
Defilement.
Yes. So under Ghana law, we have two different for penetration, defilement and rape. Rape is for 16 female, 16 years and above, and defilement is for a child. So if Ghana, we want to create the space where men can also report rape, then we need to change the definition of rape under Ghana law.
It really has to be changed.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, it really has to be.
Now let's talk about the activism and the launch and all that you're doing when it comes to that. Why 30 days? Why not more?
In fact, 30 days for us, in fact, the international one is even 16 days. Yes, we have International Activism Day in November, 16 days of activism. It normally between November to December. It starts in November and ends in December. For us, 1 month is solid because our 1 month is intensive. It doesn't mean that after the 1 month we go to bed and then we are going to wait for another year. In fact, before the 1 month of intensive activism, we were still doing it. Maybe Accra today, Accra will be invited to your channel, your media house to sensitize the public. Maybe in 2 weeks' time, another media house will invite. But this one, we decided to make it a planned and more concentrated kind of activity so that we have a timeline. We wanted to see how many people we can reach within a month, and then we'll take it from there. So with the various activities, in fact, we went to schools, universities, churches, markets, we went to lorry stations, we also internally, we also did training for ourselves. We spoke to ourselves, we did training, and even with other units within the Ghana Police Service, because we work closely with other units as well. So if when times that there are rescue, we need to rely on, there are some arrests we can do, we have to rely on the operational wing to step in for us. So we also need to sensitize them to be victim sensitive to, you know, the needs of the survivor. So we chose 30 days for us to have time to say we want to shine the light on our activities, we want to educate the public, to create an awareness, and to also tell the public where they can find help. Because most of the time people think that help is not available. And also an opportunity for us to also talk about our one-stop center, which is behind the police headquarters, where it's provide an integrated service. So we have all the needs, the service providers under one roof at the Dofsu One Stop Center. So we have Dofsu, which is the police. We have 2 courts, circuit courts, district courts. We have social welfare. We have clinical psychologists. We have shelter. We have clinic and laboratory. We have set up our own podcast. So everything you need as a survivor is in there. And all the services that we provide there are free. You don't have to pay for a thing. And we've moved away from the normal police settings where you go to an CID room, you find, you know, a lot of people in one room, statement is taken, there's an armed robber, suspected armed robber here, there's a suspected murder here, and there's a child here taking statement. Now we have a soundproof interview room, yes, where we have also camera fixed in. It is for safeguarding. One, to prevent secondary victimization. 2, to also make the person feel comfortable. I can monitor from our office. The medical doctor can also monitor from her consulting room. The idea is to prevent secondary victimization. So that when you go to the medical doctor, you're not going to repeat your story again. It also reassures and ensures professionalism. So
also, not to catch you, but we've run out of time. Briefly, in 30 seconds, talk to us about the Night of Poetry and Storytelling.
Okay, so the Night of Poetry and Storytelling is simply to educate ourselves, to remind ourselves that women hold a very important place in our society. People think that women, historically, we don't value women. But if you look into history, you study history, you realize that women were respected then, but somewhere along the line, we lost this and we thought women are not important. And then secondly, it also to tell the general public, let them see, let them into the pain that the survivor goes in, and the fact that there's a need for us all to put hands together, join hands together to support the survivor.
Also, there are 2 messages here for you. Let me quickly read them. This one says, my name is Kojo Dazi. I was raped as a child by a house help. It was involuntary and forced. The law needs to be amended to accommodate these kind of things.
He's protected. Once he was a child, he could report it. Yes,
there's another
he can still
one
report
coming.
it.
I'm not sure the person was inclined. There's another one saying, Michael from Adenta says, what about us men who are put in difficult positions by women seeking sex from us and threatening to put us in trouble if we do not comply?
It's harassment, so you can report that one.
Great. All right. Anyway, thank you so much for coming, and then I hope that we make more time to have deep insights into this conversation, because it looks like there's a lot we need to unravel when it comes to domestic violence and victim support. Thank you. Thanks so much.
With the development, rape and all that,
Yes.
it has to be traced.
Yes.
ACP Ms. Uswa Treme is the director of Dofsu. Amazing one there. Dofsu has now been made attractive. So you should make sure that you send your issues to Dofsu, and definitely the director will ensure that this is addressed.
Also, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, this is all time will allow us by way of this morning's Breakfast Daily. We thank you. We are grateful that you chose to spend your morning with us. We'll come your way again, same time tomorrow, 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. Do make a date with us, but in the meantime, do enjoy the rest of our program. And my name is Jifa KD Akutu.
And I am Philip Nilate. Many thanks for your time, and keep watching Channel 1 TV.